We are back at Dodger Stadium for Game 2 of this weekend series. The Astros winning last night in a thrilling pitching matchup by the score of 2-1. In the process, the Astros moved to 70 wins on the season as they defeated the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium, same place they won last year to take their first title ever. The Astros, with that win, maintain a 5-game lead over Oakland. The Mariners losing again to Toronto, and they are now 6.5 back in the American League West. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another night of Astros baseball. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. And Blummer, after a tough start to the road trip with a loss in Seattle, things have been good lately.
It has been good. These guys are coming together, scratching out some timely hitting, but the pitching's been great.
When you looked at last night's game, it was a combination of players who really excelled in the postseason for the Astros.
Yeah, and you kind of expect these guys to step up. Again, Carlos Correa and Altuve unavailable, so you're going to have some of these other superstars step up. It was George Springer early on hitting that rocket back up the middle, and with the air, Jake Marisnick being pushed across. That turned out to be the winning run, a lot of it because of the fact that Justin Verlander, after those 2 runs were scored, had a great shutdown inning, and then he absolutely took command of the night, throwing a ton of fastballs, blowing the fastball by a lot of these hitters, setting them up nicely for the eventual spin late in ABs. But 14 strikeouts last night for Verlander ties a career high in a game.
4 times in his career, most ever in a road start for Justin Verlander. So good to see the ALCS MVP and the World Series MVP contributing last night. It was good to see all those guys reliving the moment of 2017. With more on that, we take it to Julia.
Thanks so much, TK. Yeah, win number 70 for the Houston Astros last night was a fun one. It was a tight one, and you should have been entertained, according to Justin Verlander, who threw that gem in a hostile environment. He said that wasn't your average midweek ball game for sure. There was something different about playing here. He said, meeting this team again, knowing that we beat them in the World Series, being in their house again, there was a little bit of extra intensity. Even found himself pacing a little more than usual, watching as Hector Rondon got those last 3 outs, took him back to Game 2 of the World Series when he was pacing around in that game. That game they eventually won. He said you can't recreate the intensity of a World Series game, but they are playing at a high level right now, which is great to see, especially in the middle of August, in the middle of the summer. It is tough to get that intensity up, and we've seen it with the Astros in their last 3 games. We've seen it offensively and the pitching. It's all been very good for the Astros. That offense stepping up in a way. We've seen the pitching do it all year long, but offense, especially after they had struggled right after the break. That is our Shiner Light Blonde Spotlight as you're looking at the numbers there. So good for them there. They've gotten the 3 wins in those last 3 games. They're looking to make it 4 and take a series win from the Dodgers in their only meeting this year. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one again tonight with Lance McCullers Jr. on the mound. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum will be right back. We have first pitch around the break.
Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Southern California tonight. Lance McCullers Jr. getting the start against the Dodgers. Faced them a couple of times in the World Series. Hopefully we see more of these kind of starts.
Yeah, when things are going good for Lance, he puts up great numbers. ERA in those 13 starts at a 2.08, and it's been highly effective recently with that curveball. I know the month of July did not go the way he wanted to with that 6.53 ERA, but when he is right and dialed in, the strikeouts get racked up. He also gets a ton of ground balls, but the Astros need him to get right down the stretch. He's approaching a career high in innings pitched in a season here in LA.
Lance McCullers Jr. against Kenta Maeda. We'll have more after this. Saturday night, the Astros and Dodgers playing the middle game of this three-game series. Astros victorious last night in a game that saw just a 4-hit game for each side, 8 combined hits in an Astros 2-1 victory. And here's how the Astros will line things up tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer will lead things off, followed by Josh Reddick. Alex Bregman in the 3 spot. Yuli Gurriel plays 3rd and bats cleanup. Marwin Gonzalez at 2nd base bats 5th. Tyler White hits number 6 and plays 1st base. Martin Maldonado back in there behind the plate batting 7th. Tony Kemp gets a start in left field. He hits 8th. And Lance McCullers Jr. will bat tonight in the 9th spot.
Kenta Maeda, the right-hander going for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has pitched in 20 games. 18 of those have been starts. The record is 7-6. He's getting close to 100 innings pitched this season. His strikeout per 9 innings is a very good number, almost to 11 per 9. See 119 on the season. Last couple of starts have been a little bit rough for Maeda. Against the Philadelphia Phillies, he gave up 4 earned runs. Against the Milwaukee Brewers, his last time out, he gave up 4 runs. We'd like to see that trend continue for the Houston Astros.
Maeda out there to get the start tonight. Astros saw him out of the bullpen in the World Series last year. Only one guy in the current lineup with a hit against Maeda in the World Series last season. That's the guy at the plate right now. George Springer leads things off. George had a nice start to this 3-game series with a walk and an RBI single his first 2 times up last night. George talked to Julia after the game. He feels very comfortable here at Dodger Stadium, and why not? Last time he was here, he was winning a new vehicles World Series MVP. Maeda gets in on him, and he gets a check swing foul ball, and he's ahead 0-2. Games 2, 6, and 7 here at Dodger Stadium. George put on a show. One and two the count. First time Maeda facing the Astros in the regular season. Appeared in games 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the World Series. There's a ball hammered to left field, and it is hooking foul. George got a little quick, but he hit that ball hard.
Interesting time here. Game an hour earlier. A little bit of sunlight in center field behind the pitcher. Shouldn't be too bad for too long.
Another warm night tonight. It's been unusually warm here in Southern California the first 2 games of this series. Not quite to where it was for game 1 of the World Series.
Game 1 and 2 are rough.
You see a lot of the sections in the upper deck still filling in. That's the sun area right now. Fans traditionally arrive a little late here at Dodger Stadium. Sell out last night, expecting big crowds all weekend. Fouls went back, stays 2-2. Carlos Correa playing in the second game on his rehab assignment. And tonight for Corpus Christi, he has hit a home run in the 4th inning.
Bomb to center field. A lot of fans on Twitter giving us updates. So that's good to see. And again, it's nice that he's going to be putting up numbers and getting that swing straight. It's all about how does he feel the next day.
Foul tip caught by the catcher Austin Barnes. Good battle between Maeda and Springer, and Kenta eventually wins it with his first strikeout.
Right fielder number 22, Josh Reddick.
Slider from Kenta Maeda. You see it out of the hand on our Mattress Firm Supermo. That spin, that's that backup slider. George saw it pretty good. Just foul tipped it, unable to get the barrel to it.
Josh Reddick bats. Reddick called Dodger Stadium home for part of the 2016 season. He was traded at the deadline from the Oakland A's to the Dodgers. Played in 47 games with LA. Also played in 10 of 11 postseason games with the Dodgers that year. So another homecoming of sort for Reddick, although not quite the same level as when he returns to the Coliseum in Oakland. In fact, we hear more Houston fans here reacting when Reddick gets introduced with their woo calls. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, the Dodger fans just change one letter in that when Josh Reddick comes up.
Lineup introductions yesterday. Justin Verlander had his share of boos, and he would thrive on that as he set the tone in this series with 7 2/3 of really outstanding baseball, allowing 4 hits and a run. Nice when this guy starts the series. On the ground, that's a fair ball, and past the first baseman Kike Hernandez. Reddick will stop at first as Puig played it nicely off the wall.
Really did. That ball didn't have a chance to get down in that corner in the right field. Pretty impressive that he was able to sneak this past Kike Hernandez, and on our MD Anderson strike zone, you can see fastball down and in. Josh just drops ahead and hits a BB past the first baseman. Didn't really move his feet to go get that ball, did he?
Mentioned Reddick played here after that single that Puig came up throwing. Reddick and Puig had a little back and forth, saying, "You're not going to challenge this arm," as Alex Bregman takes a pitch for a ball. Bregman coming in with a .279 batting average, 22 home runs, a .908 APS. Good OPS, good for 8th in the American League. Two and 0 the count. Alex leads the team in home runs, runs batted in, runs scored, OPS, doubles, walks, pops this one up on the infield. Justin Turner from third base makes the play. Bregman retired for the second out.
Got some pitch usage on Kenta Maeda. 44% of the time you're going to see that fastball. It averages right around 92 miles an hour. Slider, changeup, curveball are the secondary pitches he goes to. Has a little bit of a cutter, but some good averages against those secondary pitches, except for that curveball getting hit at a 360 clip. He is primarily fastball, slider, changeup.
Facing Yuli Gurriel. Yuli coming into the ball game, batting at .286. Yuli had an infield hit in 4 at bats last night and takes a called strike. Astros picking up their 70th win of the season last night. Tonight is game number 112 on the year. This is game 56 on the road, so they are matched up with the same number of road games and home games after tonight. And the record continues to be better away from Minute Maid Park on the season. 1-1 the count. Astros 38-17 on the road, 32-24 at home. Defensively for the Dodgers tonight, Chris Taylor continues to move around. He goes out to the outfield tonight. He's in center field with Yasiel Puig in right and Matt Kemp going from right to left field. Justin Turner, Manny Machado on the left side. Brian Dozier gets a start with Kike Hernandez on the right side and Austin Barnes behind the plate. They have a thick team right now. They are deep. Last night we did not see Dozier start. We did not see Puig start. We did not see Kike Hernandez start. And tonight their bench includes Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, Yasmani Grandal, and Jock Peterson. There are not many benches that you can say come close to comparing to what the Dodgers have on their bench. And the guy to Peterson's right just put on the DL announcing his retirement. Chase Utley. Drive into center field, coming on Taylor, still coming, and makes a nice sliding catch to retire Gurriel to end the inning. Base hit by Reddick and 1 man left on base. Machado. Justin Turner hits third and plays third. Matt Kemp in left field bats cleanup. Brian Dozier gets a start at second base. Yasiel Puig in right field. Kike Hernandez at first. Austin Barnes behind the plate, and McCullers and Maeda bats ninth.
Lance McCullers on the mound for your Houston Astros. On the season, he has 21 starts, 10-6 record. Those 122 innings are interesting because he is about 3 innings away from getting to his career high through 125 2/3 innings in 2015, his first year in the big leagues. So it'll be nice to see Lance healthy, strong, making his 22nd start.
22 starts also matches his career high in 2015 and last year. So Lance gets a start against the Dodgers tonight, a team he has faced before in the World Series Game 7. He was the starting pitcher. That was his first start here at Chavez Ravine. Facing Chris Taylor, who takes a called strike. Lance became the youngest pitcher to start a Game 7 of the World Series on that day, November 1, 2017, since John Lackey started Game 7 for the Angels 15 years earlier. Lance admitted he did not have his best stuff that night. Was still able to navigate through 2 1/3 innings and work around 3 hits and 4 hit batters and not allow a run. And here he starts off Taylor with a 3-1 count.
That 2-1 pitch wasn't all that bad. MD Anderson strike zone gives us an idea at the top portion of the zone. DJ Rayburn not giving that area yet.
Ball slicing into right field, long run for Reddick, and it's a foul ball. Bounces into the crowd. Josh Reddick still in that sun field out there, has the shades up on the hat. 3-2 the count. One hour earlier start tonight than last night. Still a part of tonight's game. Call third strike. Lance McCullers with a fastball freezes Taylor for the first out of the inning.
Good movement on that fastball. But we know that Lance throws a ton of breaking balls, and that actually might have set up that fastball in a 2-strike count. Taylor might have been waiting for the break and never saw it. Good sequence.
So Lance will face Manny Machado here. That is a nice number for McCullers Jr., dealing with the first batter of the inning. When we showed you the Dodgers lineup at the beginning of this inning, you may have noticed that they have gone to an all right-handed hitting lineup against the righty Lance McCullers Jr. Dave Roberts asked about that before the game, and he said a couple things were in play. Number one, day game tomorrow after a night game, and he wanted his lefties to be in there against Garrett Cole. But he also talked about how devastating that breaking ball is for Lance, that turbo curve, and how he's able to get it down and in underneath the bats of the left-hand hitters. And if you go to the numbers, kind of bears out. Lance has been very tough on lefties.
Yeah, the batting average against left-handed, or for left-handed hitters against Lance McCullers, 179. Right-handed hitters are hitting 260 against him.
And we've talked about, as you see the splits on Lance, at some point we'll be interested to see if opposing managers go to more righties against Lance, and also Charlie Morton you can say the same thing about.
Yeah, that curveball fastball mix wears those guys out.
So we're seeing 9 righties for Lance McCullers Jr. as he gets a breaking ball there and a swing and a miss by Manny Machado for out number 2. Lance picking up a couple of early strikeouts tonight.
I think the first time through the order is going to be big for Lance McCullers to build some of that confidence. Nice, he's got 2 strikeouts right out of the chute. An effective breaking ball. Great job by Maldonado also. Keeping that ball in front, putting the tag on Machado. But if he can get comfortable here at Dodger Stadium early on, it's going to really benefit the Astros.
There's that two-seamer that starts off the plate for a right-hand hitter and tails back on the plate. Justin Turner, the batter. It'll be interesting afterwards if Lance can recall any other time he has faced a lineup that is all right-handed. Ground ball against the shift into right field. Not hit hard, but in the right spot for Justin Turner. And he's a two-out base runner.
Justin Turner's yet to see an off-speed pitch in his first, 5-6 ABs now in this series. Justin Verlander would just continue to pound him with fastballs, 3 punch-outs, a walk, but fights this one off against Lance McCullers to get on base.
Here's Matt Kemp. Leads the team in RBIs with 64. As you can see, though, it's been a struggle for Kemp lately. You've seen that batting average move below 300 with a 1 for 30 since July 24th. It's a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Astros shift Kemp very similarly as they shifted Justin Turner with 3 on the left side of the infield. And a swing and a miss. Lance ahead 0-2.
Command good early on for Lance. StatCast AI powered by AWS is giving you an idea of why they are shifting Matt Kemp up there. Pretty impressive to the pull side.
Swing and a miss. McCullers picks up 3 strikeouts in the inning. Justin Turner with a base hit. And we're scoreless through 1.
Last out of the World Series, and Mike Stanton executes the perfect pickoff move. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the game, only on AT&T Sports Net. Astros looking to get the offense going. We saw it the last 2 games of Seattle taking that series. And there's a lot of talk of what this team can do, especially without guys like Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve in the lineup. But AJ talked about this. He's been asked a lot about them, other guys being able to pick this team up with those key guys out. We also saw George Springer miss a couple of games, but he said, you know, whenever they're at their best when guys like Marwin Gonzalez, who we're watching now, Josh Reddick, these guys start to step up and help the club out.
Marwin all the way out to center field on the first pitch of the second inning. Marwin hits his 9th home run of the year, his 7th as a lefty. That helped out, Julia.
Ask and you shall receive.
The point is, this team is deep, and they can all contribute. We just saw it right there with Marwin Gonzalez, but they keep winning series, and they keep putting runs up like they do with that middle part of the order. They'll be just fine.
You sound like you're in the dugout. You can hear all the.
I should have high-fived Marwin as he came down.
Yeah.
Thanks for making me look good, Marwin.
Well, that's the guy that won our Stroh poll last night for the most important moment at Dodger Stadium in the World Series last year. And he goes out to straightaway center field on Kenta Maeda. Marwin's 3rd home run of this road trip. And his 3rd home run in 3 games. Here's Tyler White. Astros on the board first tonight. Here's Marwin with his 9th home run of the season. That was well struck.
Elevated fastball. He went up and got it.
White pulls one foul. It's 2-1. Marwin hit 2 home runs right-handed on Wednesday. Day off on Thursday here in LA. Last night, Marwin was 0 for 4, but right back at the home run trot today with a left-handed home run. Two and 2 the count. Maeda, 30-year-old right-hander. Started his career in Japan. Played 8 years, pitched 8 years for Hiroshima before joining the Dodgers in 2016. Here's a ball grounded towards third. Turner makes the play on Tyler White for out number 1.
Pitcher number 15, Martin Maldonado.
I'll bring up Martin Maldonado. Maldonado starting back-to-back games and catching Lance McCullers Jr. for the 2nd time. Martin reached base a couple of times last night with a walk and a hit by pitch. Martin 0 for 9 with a sac fly as an Astro, and overall trying to snap an 0 for 32. First pitch is a strike. New look for Alex Bregman.
Oh, yeah.
Never know what he's going to come up with each day. Last night it was just the top of the head. Now he's got the full do. What do you think of that color, Blummer?
It's interesting. I've gone through shades of gold myself. It's usually the initial shock of it kind of wears off maybe after about 3 or 4 days and kind of dulls a little bit. That's when it starts to become highly effective.
One-two pitch, swing and a miss. Maldonado goes down for the 2nd out. That's 2 strikeouts for Maeda.
Hey, let's check out Marwin's home run swing. Elevated fastball like we talked about. He barreled it up, got through there very nicely. The exit velocity at 101.9. Carried 404 feet. Just did not want to come down. Taylor thought he had a shot at it, but that was a pretty good poke to center field.
Here's Tony Kemp. Lefties had really been doing a lot of damage against Maeda the first couple of months of the season. Before the month of June, lefties hitting .290 with a .500 slugging percentage. In June and July, Maeda has kind of turned the tables on lefties with a .218 batting average and a .322 slug, and a lot of that has been the usage of the changeup. His changeup usage since the beginning of June has been way up against lefties, from 19% of the time to almost 29% of the time. One and two the count on Tony Kemp. Threw him a changeup there.
Yeah, Maeda is a guy that doesn't give up many home runs. He's actually coming into this game giving up less than 1 home run per 9. And that was the 10th home run he's given up this season.
Doubles up on the changeup against Kemp and gets a slow ground ball to second base. Dozier makes the play for the final out. But the Astros take a 1-0 lead.
And it's usually pretty good when they score early. Marwin moving up to that 5th spot, drives one out of center field. Astros up 1-0.
It's a good one from Dodger Stadium. Remember to follow us on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. Here we go. In terms of both versatility and performance, who was the Astros' most valuable pitcher of the 2017 playoffs? Was it McCullers and Morton, Dallas Keuchel, or Justin Verlander? Those are your 3 choices. Tweet at us. Let us know what you think. We'll tell you which one wins later in the broadcast. This is also a topic that will come up later here in the game. Boys in the booth will be talking about it. TK?
All right, Julia, we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Astros on top 1-0. A lot of Astros fans here again tonight for game 2 of this series. A lot of them in that same section out there in right field. A lot of orange splattered across Dodger Stadium. Astros winning game 2 and game 7 of the World Series here last year. Overall, in the regular season, they have won consecutive games here at Dodger Stadium, going back to 2015. Lance will face Brian Dozier, who did not start but came on in last night's game and ended up getting one at bat, flied out to center field against Justin Verlander. Dozier, coming over from the Minnesota Twins, has led the Twins in home runs each of the last 5 seasons. Here in LA, he's just one of the number of home run hitters. Lance struck out 3 in the first inning behind Dozier 2-0. Astros have won 4 consecutive regular season games against the Dodgers going back to 2015. Lance misses outside. It's 3-0. There's a strike called. It's 3-1. Lance making the 80th start of his career. 41 on the road, 39 at home. And coming back to a full count. Inside ball 4, Dozier draws a leadoff walk. Lance falling behind 3-0, unable to finish off that at bat, and now he'll face Yasiel Puig, a guy who had some success against Lance in his career. Puig is 3 for 5 and also was one of the guys hit by a pitch last year in Lance's Game 7 start. Puig did not start in last night's game. Hit 2 home runs on Thursday, and it looked like he's kind of trying to stretch things out after that first swing.
Kind of that lower back.
Dave Roberts will watch this next pass of the baseball closely. Ground ball toward third, backhanded by Yuli, goes to Marwin for 1. They turn a double play. Nicely done around the horn for 2 quick outs.
Great turn by Yuli. Quick hands. That ball was hit pretty good to his backhand side. Did a good job of picking it up and getting rid of it quick. What was great is he planted that right foot when he made the catch, and that's what allowed him to make that quick exchange right here. No extra movement, just plant the right foot, throw a seed over to Marwin. Great turn. Lance gets a lot of ground balls. It helped him out right there.
Really looking more and more comfortable with each start at third base. That's now 8 starts for him over at the hot corner. As Lance drops in a breaking ball to Kike Hernandez for a strike.
There's Lance's ground ball percentage, 55%, second in Major League Baseball.
And quickly ahead 0-2. Astros playing Game 5 of this 8-game road trip. Game here tomorrow afternoon. 2 more on the trip in San Francisco on Monday and Tuesday. Then returning home to face the Seattle Mariners and the Colorado Rockies. 0-2 pitch, up and in. It's 1-2. Lance's 5 out so far, 3 strikeouts and a double play ground ball, and this one slowly tapped down the line, and Maldonado will field it in foul territory. Count stays 1-2. While the Astros enjoy a 5-game lead in the West, the Dodgers are in a tie in the National League West. They got off to such a slow start this season. They have been battling back. They've been playing much better in the last couple of months, but A long way to come back, and now they are currently tied for first with the Arizona Diamondbacks at 61-50. $35-20 since the beginning of June for the Dodgers. Another foul. A couple of the Astros started to walk towards the dugout as that pitch just missed, said DJ Rayburn. Lance tried to shoot the edge.
Thought that ball came back nicely. Maldonado caught it nice and firm on that outside corner, but just off that outside edge.
Pop up, playable. Tyler White, foul territory, makes the play for the final out of the inning. A walk, a double play, and a pop up.
Dodgers routes crews driven by the help of SoCal Honda Dealers. I want to thank you.
Man in these National League ballparks when the Astros get there is Evan Gattis. Since the All-Star break, he has 10 hits. The OPS is over 1,000. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, really tearing the cover off the ball, but it's unfortunate in this current situation on this roster for A.J. Hinch. He is the 3rd catcher. Really swung himself into that DH role, but with the addition of Maldonado, Stassi, he has been relegated to that 3rd catcher position. So not playing too much in these National League parks. And then yesterday we saw Verlander go deep in the ball game. Really didn't need that pinch hitter. So therefore, Evan Gattis is going to just hang out with the hoodie on.
You know, he's not even playing and he's still with the hoodie. It's a man who loves his hoodie. Lance McCullers puts the ball in play. He's been good at that in his career. Only 1 strikeout in 9 career bats. Now 1 in 10, but he's only had 1 hit. Grounds out the shortstop to start the inning on 1 pitch. Lance, left-hand hitter, came through with an RBI last year in the World Series. As George Springer will bat, and he's hearing it from Dave Roberts in the opposing dugout.
No, he's not. He's making fun of George Springer because he has to take a pitch because the pitcher swung at the first pitch and made it out. Can't do that.
Roberts, a great relationship with A.J. Hinch and the Astros, and George does stand there and take a pitch for a strike. George crushes one deep to left field, and this ball is just foul.
Ball was destroyed.
Just foul down the left field line.
420-foot foul ball.
Oh. George hit a foul ball 106 in the first inning, and this one 107 for a foul ball.
Got a little too excited.
Dave Roberts has seen enough high exit velocity off the bat of George Springer for his career. It all happened in the World Series last year. Home runs in games 4, 5, 6, and 7, 5 overall. New record in extra base hits. New record in total bases. Major league marks. 0-2 the count. Bounces in there.
It's tough to do is just skip one over the backstop.
Astros with 2 hits and lead at 1-0 on a Marwin Gonzalez solo home run. Two and 2 the count. Mentioned Maeda only allowing 1 hit to today's lineup in last year's World Series. He allowed 1 run during that World Series to the Astros in 4 appearances. So overall good numbers, but that 1 run was a rather large one. 2 pitch that George sends into right field. Yasiel Puig drifts towards the corner and puts it away for out number 2. 2019 season tickets are now on sale. Fans who purchase season tickets now enjoy immediate benefits, including guaranteed 2018 postseason priority access. For more info, visit astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. 2 outs, bases empty. Josh Reddick will bat. Josh hit one down the line for a base hit his first time up. Pulled it past the first baseman, Kike Hernandez, who maybe is even a step closer to the line this time around, as Josh has a count of 0-1.
You see a lot of the reason why they are shifting Josh Reddick, but Josh Reddick is also one of those guys that can beat that shift, staying up the middle, going the other way sometimes. The Dodgers do it a little bit differently too. They leave Manny Machado on that left side of the infield and move Justin Turner to that second base position, or what is supposed to be the original second base position.
In the air, shallow left center field. Machado out, Kemp in. It's Kemp the left fielder. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kenta Maeda in the third. It's 1-0 Astros.
on Who Am I? Trojan War, New York State of Mind, Tommy John. If you know who that Astro is, make sure you tweet it at ATT Sportsnet SW. Make sure you stay tuned later in this ball game. We will let you know if you are right or wrong. I know I've got it. Done deal.
Nice. Good work on this Saturday night from LA. You guys have been staying up with our Astros After Dark shows. We're on the West Coast a lot here in the month of August. As Austin Barnes takes a called strike. It'll be Barnes, Kenta Maeda, and Chris Taylor facing Lance McCullers Jr. There's a called strike. It's 0-2. This trip, 3 in Seattle, 3 in LA, 2 in San Francisco. Next road trip, 3 in Oakland, 3 in Seattle, 3 in Anaheim. Some day games in the mix tomorrow and Tuesday, and also the final game in Seattle. But we will have our share of Astros After Dark programming in August. 1-2 pitch has popped up, could be playable. White and Maldonado a long run. White with a slide, and it literally hits the top of the railing. Tried to make a sliding attempt, and the ball just eluded him as it hit the rail.
Maldonado thought he had a chance. He gave way to Tyler White, but not hit high enough for either one of them to get over to find that fence and make the play on top of the railing. Tyler White going to the slide just for self-preservation.
Barnes takes one up and in. It's 2-2. Barnes catching tonight. He's also played his share of second base. Counts now 3-2. Lance has allowed 1 hit and 1 walk. He struck out 3 in the first inning. And this is outside, ball 4, back-to-back innings with a leadoff walk as Barnes walks to start the 3rd inning. The Astros' upcoming schedule is presented by AT&T Entertainment Group. Dodgers tomorrow, Giants on Monday and Tuesday. Then an off day Wednesday. The Astros kick off a homestand with the Mariners on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then another off day before the Rockies are in town. Kenta Maeda leads his team in sacrifice bunts, as he is in sacrifice mode here with a runner on first base to start the inning. 8 of them this year for Maeda.
You know, with these National League parks and having the pitcher hit, it's also an opportunity to see how the Astros will play against the bunt. Not too often during their American League games do they even have a chance to anticipate bunt and put on a play. Good shot at Yuli. He's playing in, anticipating bunt. But you don't want to charge too early and have the pitcher pull back and try and take a hack.
Saw Verlander do that a couple of times last night, with the Dodgers really crashing on the corners. Verlander pulled back and took a couple of swings on the first and second pitch of the game that he saw. This time he's going to swing. The runner on the move, and the throw will be in time. What a throw by Maldonado. Martin Maldonado, the machete, cuts down Austin Barnes.
That was beautifully done all the way around. He has to hold his ground and make sure that he does receive the pitch with the pitcher out there squaring around and pulling back. Holds his ground, comes up firing, but it's also a pretty quick tag from Alex Bregman. Kenta Maeda swinging himself into the dirt.
Love the reaction from Lance. Maldonado throwing out 42.3% of would-be Steelers coming into this game. And he gets another one. That was fun to watch. Now Lance ahead of the count 1-2. And Maeda goes down looking, but Maldonado drops the ball. Maeda won't even bother to run as he gets tagged out. That is strikeout number 4 for Lance.
That's some wicked movement on that fastball.
Maldonado got crossed up a few times last night with Verlander and caught all of them. This must have been crossed up again there.
This is the steal attempt. Maeda losing it, but the machete staying with it. But that's just a great quick catch and tag by Alex, letting that ball travel, catch it, get it down as quick as you can to get Barnes.
When the ball was released, it looked like there was no chance Barnes would be thrown out. And that ball just absolutely got to second in a hurry.
Yeah, there's some heat on it.
So now 2 outs, bases empty for Chris Taylor. Lance picking up his 4th strikeout, getting Maeda. That ball's hit hard to left field. Kemp going back, and this ball one-hops against the fence. Taylor into second base has a double with 2 outs. Stealing looks a little more important now.
Most definitely, because Barnes would have scored on this base hit easily. Hanging breaking ball, and Taylor puts a pretty good swing on it. Launches it into that left field corner. Easy double.
To play Chris Taylor is a challenge now for Dave Roberts, who spent most of the year playing shortstop, but now with Manny Machado here, Taylor will be bounced to different spots. Here is Machado, and he struck out swinging his first time up. Machado 0 for 4 last night, had his string of 33 consecutive games on base. Streak was snapped last night. Dating back to his time with the Orioles, playing 15 games now with the Dodgers. Tonight, game number 16 with LA. Pitch hit in the air to left center field. Kemp and Springer are there. It is Springer who takes command for the final out. A double and a walk, but the Astros still lead 1-0.
as we turn back the clock for Legends Weekend, presented by Houston Methodist. Events include a Springer replica rainbow jersey giveaway, a Carlos Beltran 2004 playoff bobblehead giveaway, and a pregame Legends home run derby. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/legends.
I know you took BP before the Hall of Fame Classic.
Yeah.
Do you prepare differently when you get ready for a home run derby?
More push-ups. It's all about launch angle, TK.
I hear you. And the guy at the plate, to his credit, he was very impressive in the home run derby in Washington this year.
He was incredible. And I thought, we talked about length of home run, increasing time for Schwarber to get that extra swing in and get that one extra home run that he needed. But Alex Bregman was very impressive. Really didn't change his swing all that much. Continued to just hit line drives out of the ballpark and put on a great show.
Just missed hitting that tying home run. Ball off the wall in his last swing of the night. Would have forced a playoff against Schwarber. It was a good showing for Bregman in his first home run derby. He popped up to third his first time up. I mentioned last night Alex had a new do for the start of this series with a golden top of his hair. Now it's gone all full M&M.
It really has. I think we found Slim Shady.
Why did he do that, Julia?
Well, this was the plan all along, and some friends are involved, but they ran out of bleach yesterday. So he showed up to the ballpark with a two-tone look. Today, took care of the whole thing. I asked why, and there's never really a reason why with Bregman. He said, you know how I am. He just likes to have fun, keep us on our toes, changing things up. He's hearing it from everyone in this dugout.
There's a ball towards short, picked on the short hop by Machado. Throws out the opposing shortstop for out number one. A couple of guys who have moved from third base to shortstop. Manny's a little more permanent than Bregman. I'm sitting next to a guy that can appreciate that sentiment.
Oh man, you would have died. I got traded over to the Houston Astros.
Died.
Yeah,
Nice.
get it. Play with it. You're on with me today, attaboy. But I got traded over in 2002 in spring training, and I came over with black hair and white tips. Woo. Yeah, and that might have been the reason why nobody talked to me for about 3 months, waiting for that to grow out. And I remember my first interview I did as an Astro was with Alan Ashby when he was doing radio. And there might have been a good reason I was doing my first interview on the radio. But it was funny because it was a great conversation. I really hit it off with Ash, but at the same time, he couldn't take his eyes off my skull. It was hilarious.
Little did you know, you would go on to work together in the broadcast booth.
Exactly.
Good stuff. But you went through a few different
Oh, there was a good segment with local TV, and it was it might have been my second spring training with the Houston Astros. And I think I showed up with the same hair tone that Alex is out there with, but they somehow during the course of this like 2-minute interview, somebody in graphics had my hair color changed throughout the interview.
Very cool.
It was great.
So we'll see how long Bregman stays with that. Possibly longer than the mustache. That was short-lived. 1-2 the count to Yuli. 1 out, nobody on. The only difference with the mustache is that changed mid-game. I don't think Alex can change this mid-game. A lot of comments about Blummer and Alex.
I just love the strength at which he's going at it. There's no shame in that game. He is just letting it go.
Yuli lined out to center field his first time up. And Maeda able to strike him out this time around. Maeda has 3 strikeouts. And he's retired 8 in a row.
There was a look on my face when I saw his hair. How about Doug Brocail in the background just looking at me going, what in the heck is going on?
Great stuff.
That is awesome.
Our Twitterverse is tremendous. And it keeps getting better too. We've seen some classic shots throughout the night. Here's Marwin. He's the difference in this game. A home run to center field on the first pitch. Fastball from Maeda. What will he get here on the first pitch? Changed it up.
Yeah, he didn't want to get ambushed again.
Well, more people are swinging the first pitch against Maeda this year than his previous 2 seasons by a good margin. 32% first pitch swings this year. There's a called strike. It's 1-1. Marwin now with 7 home runs as a left-hand hitter, 9 overall. Around a bunt after his home run, he goes from long ball to small ball, but unable to keep it fair. It's 1-2. Astros last night did not have a hit after the second batter of the 3rd inning. J.D. Davis with a single with 1 out in the 3rd, and the Dodgers will not allow any more hits the rest of the way tonight. A single in the 1st and a home run in the 2nd. But Maeda has sent down 8 in a row. It's that changeup he likes on the 1-2 count especially. And it's 2-2 on Marwin. Throws that 1-2 changeup to lefty 65% of the time. Slowly hit first base side. Who wants it? Nobody takes control. Maeda collides with Hernandez. Nobody took control on that ground ball, and Marwin has himself a base hit.
It was amazing. That's how you break out of slumps. Tops it. Kike Hernandez is versatile, doesn't play a lot of first base, but he can. And this was just in no man's land. You'd like to see the first baseman be a little more aggressive, but I'm assuming that Kike Hernandez was playing pretty deep with Marwin hitting left-handed, probably hoping that Maeda bounced off that mound a little bit quicker to pick it up.
You're right about his versatility. He has played every position this year with the exception of catcher. And yes, that does include pitching. But only his 4th start over at first base. Now Tyler White will bat with a runner on and 2 outs. White hits one towards second, fielded there by Dozier. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 4th. 1-0 lead.
By your local Ford dealers. Lance McCullers Jr. and Charlie Morton in the ALCS and World Series Game 7s. They combined to go out there and pitch 15 1/3 innings, giving up 8 hits, only 1 earned run, 18 strikeouts. Lance closing out Game 7 of the ALCS, and then it was Charlie Morton backing up Lance McCullers in Game 7. Pretty good dynamic duo, but it will be interesting. AJ played matchups last year with who he was going to start and who he was going to put in that bullpen, but some powerful arms and powerful options to have in the back end of that bullpen come postseason time if they need it.
It's been a pleasure to watch the first 112 games with those 5 starters, but obviously you get to postseason, you don't need 5 starters. And if you remember last year, as Lance faces Justin Turner, who singled on a ground ball against the shift on the right side. Last year, Lance was not in the rotation to start the postseason. Brad Peacock was. Lance came out of the bullpen against the Boston Red Sox, and then was moved into the rotation for the ALCS and the World Series. And this year, 4 of the 5 will be postseason starters. See how that plays out. In the air to right, Josh Reddick is there. Turner retired for the first out of the 4.
Lance in that playoff ERA as a starter 2.70, as a reliever 2.57, just a little bit better as a reliever, but still good numbers either way. So when we talk about matchups, if you're facing a team that doesn't hit spin very well, maybe you put Lance McCullers in that rotation and get a couple more innings out of him. And if there's somebody else that matches up better for Charlie, you throw him out there because he's got the high velocity, high octane, and get close to 99. But it's also appealing having a guy like Charlie at the back end, a little more reliable and maybe steady as far as how he is on the mound. It's nothing against Lance McCullers, but we know that Lance can get a little mercurial sometimes, especially after what we saw from Charlie Morton in Game 7 last year. Just came in and just really steadied and righted the ship and just went after some of these LA Dodger hitters.
And did not give the fans of the Dodgers much hope after the Astros jumped out to a 5-0 lead in that game. Lance would struggle and only last 2 1/3 innings in that start, as his command was not where he wanted.
Pitches 46 through 90 are interesting for Lance.
A couple of walks tonight for McCullers, both leadoff walks in the 2nd and the 3rd inning. Kemp not feeling real great after fouling that last pitch off his foot. Kemp struck out his first time up, one of 4 strikeouts for McCullers. That's coming back to a full count now after being down 3-0. Center field, Springer drifts back, not quite to the track, puts it away for out number 2.
'17 playoffs as a starter. There's the numbers we talked about. We already showed you the ERA. There's some of the other numbers. 13 2/3 as a starter, 9 strikeouts, 7 innings as a reliever, 10 strikeouts.
24 straight curveballs against the Yankees as a reliever. To finish
It's
out.
aggressive.
Yes, very aggressive. Finish out the ALCS. Well, 50 games to go to sort through that starter reliever situation. As Brian Dozier hits here. Lance, by the way, has just matched his career high.
How about Hector Rondon going a 4-out save last night, though? He has looked exceptional out of that closing role for A.J. Hinch. So that might create some more options if and when the Astros do get to the postseason.
Yeah, to me, of all the saves, he's had 11 as an Astro. That was the most impressive. Not only a 4-out save, but coming in with a tying run on base and facing Manny Machado. Rondon had allowed 2 hits and 2 at bats to Machado before last night. Got him out. And then Turner, Grandal, and Bellinger, the 3, 4, 5 hitters the next inning.
Yeah, that was really impressive considering the environment and the team he was facing.
Lance ahead 0-2. With that last out of Matt Kemp flying out to center field. Lance now at 125 2/3 innings on the season. That matches his career high set back in 2015. And he now has a new career high in innings pitched, and here we are in his first start of the month of August. A 1-2-3-4 for Lance.
It's time for What's in the Box, presented by Tim.
Downloading the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit AT&TSportsnet.com to stream on your computer. You can log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. Another pitcher's duel tonight after a 2-1 game last night. Dallas Keuchel and Alex Wood going toe-to-toe. Tonight it's Kenta Maeda against Lance McCullers Jr. We've seen a total of just 13 hits in this series so far through 13 innings. Let's see if Martin Maldonado can get on the board here for his first Astros hit. Maldonado struck out swinging his first time up. We saw his value defensively earlier by throwing out a runner, Austin Barnes, potentially saving a run for the Astros, as Chris Taylor would double later in the inning. Shallow right field. Back goes Kike Hernandez, the first baseman. He makes the play. Maldonado pops up for out number 1.
3-2, Tony Kemp.
Maeda, a little infield hit by Marwin Gonzalez that really should have been recorded as an out if Maeda or Hernandez took charge. And that's it since the Marwin Gonzalez home run. He was retired 10 of the last 11. Here's Tony Kemp. Kemp grounded out his last time. Tony coming in batting .293 on the year. Maeda with 8 years in Japan before starting his Dodgers career in 2016. And the opposing manager tonight, A.J. Hinch, knows Maeda a little better than just an opposing pitcher as Kemp grounds out. Is that right, Julia?
He came over yesterday to say hello to AJ through a translator, but it does go back to AJ's first off season as the manager of the Astros. So that was after the 2015 season, and Maeda was meeting with teams, so he flew into Houston. AJ picked him up at the airport. Him and his translator drove him to Minute Maid Park. They had lunch together. They had to keep it low profile, so they had lunch at the ballpark, but they did get to know each other a little bit. Ultimately, though, Maeda finding the perfect fit with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, he's been very comfortable over here in Dodger blue as he faces Lance McCullers, who takes a called strike. Maeda, a couple of starts in a row allowing 4 runs, but tonight he's been very good. Lance down to the count 0-2. Lance grounded out to short. And he takes a called third strike on the breaking ball. So Maeda picks up his 4th strikeout in a 1-2-3-5. Gurriel, World Series Game 5. Clayton Kershaw with a 4-0 lead. Kershaw undefeated in his career. And the Dodgers had scored 4 runs in his start. But it wouldn't be undefeated in the postseason as the Astros would serve up 13 runs that night, including the game winner off the bat of Alex Bregman right here.
Unforgettable evening that night of Game 5.
Astros had 5 home runs in that game. Yuli a 3-run bomb to tie it up. Jose Altuve a 3-run home run to tie it up. Dodgers had 8 extra base hits plus 2 home runs. The Astros had 3 other extra base hits. Lance McCullers Jr. is not going to stay in this game. Jeremiah Randall came out to the mound after Lance was warming up along with the manager A.J. Hinch. And A.J. has taken the ball from Lance McCullers. After 4 innings of work, McCullers hit in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So you would think if there was an issue leading into the bottom half, Lance didn't say anything or said he was fine to go out for the 5th, but that did not go well in the warm-ups.
Well, I think with 2 outs, they just fired him up there. I think Jeremiah Randall was talking to A.J. Hinch before Lance went to the plate, and it might have been in a situation with 2 outs. Just go ahead and burn the AB so he doesn't have to use a guy off the bench. Flip the lineup over, make the pitching change.
So Brad Peacock comes out of the bullpen. He will have as much time as he wants to warm up, and we'll come back after this. Up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, Lance McCullers Jr., who just set his career high in innings pitched with a final out of the 4th inning, ended up batting in the top half of the 5th inning, came out for warm-ups in the bottom half of the 5th. You notice anything, Blummer, when Lance came off the mound?
Yeah, took the glove, pointed to that elbow forearm area, coming off with Jeremiah Randall right here. That is not a good sign. Hopefully it's just maybe a little bit of tenderness in that forearm, because he throws so many breaking balls and he throws them so hard, sometimes that forearm can flare up a little bit. But anytime a pitcher points to that area of the arm, there's a little bit of concern that ensues. We don't know for sure.
One of our viewers on Twitter, Chris Cole, mentioned that he thought he saw something unusual with Lance after this fly out. Kind of working at arm a little bit.
I don't know, pitchers make so many moves throughout the course of games, but that could have been it.
Brad Peacock will take over here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Another big crowd, looks like another sellout tonight, finally has filled in. Brad will have as much time to warm up as he wants. Peacock, as we mentioned earlier, with Lance starting the postseason in the bullpen. Brad was a starter in that series in the ALDS against Boston, but Peacock has worked out of the bullpen entirely this year. The Astros, the only team remaining that has used only 5 starters all season long. We'll hope for the best for Lance McCullers Jr. as he leaves this game after 4. The Dodgers today put Alex Wood on the DL. Wood started against the Astros last night. And with that DL move with Alex Wood, every Dodger starter has been on the DL at some point this season. The Astros, quite the opposite, have been very fortunate with their first 5 starters lasting 112 games to this point. Here's Yasiel Puig. Lance goes 4 innings, allows 2 hits and 2 walks. And he struck out 5 while he was in there. 22 starts tonight, matching a career high, 126 innings, a new career high. And now Peacock takes over. We grounded into a double play his first time up. You would think AJ will have Brad out there for multiple innings, if at all possible.
An inning and 2/3 back on July 11th against Oakland. A couple of outings before that on July 6th against the Chicago White Sox. He went 2 innings. Season high as far as innings pitched. Got to go all the way back to April 4th against Baltimore. He went 3 innings.
Peacock will face Yasiel Puig, Kike Hernandez, and Austin Barnes. Swing and a miss. Good start for Peacock coming out of the bullpen, striking out Puig to start the bottom half of the 5th.
Got a pitching performance for you. It's powered by Kubota. Bullpen performance in the last 5 games, extremely good. 11 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs. Before that, not so pretty. 17 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 24 earned runs. They have definitely righted the ship. They have good numbers overall on the season. They are 3rd in Major League Baseball as far as bullpen ERA with a 3.15.
Astros with a roster move last night. We mentioned the Dodgers roster move before the game today. The Astros bringing up Cionel Perez, the lefty, at least for the first 2 games of this series. The Astros will have another move to make tomorrow with Roberto Osuna joining the team. But Cionel Perez was called up, and Chris Davinsky was put on the disabled list for the Astros. Kike Hernandez with a 1-1 count. Julia, you caught up with Devo today?
Yeah, he's disappointed in having to go on the disabled list, but things weren't right with him. He said his left hamstring was actually starting to affect the way that he was pitching. Every time he landed on him, he felt it, but there was a lot going on with Devo. This is a good opportunity for him to just kind of step away, get 100% healthy, and then be ready for this team down the stretch. So obviously a disappointing day for him, he's a strong-minded guy and likes to be out there for his team, but he wants to get healthy and be better on the mound.
He's logged a lot of innings for A.J. Hinch over the past 3 years. Hopefully when he comes back, we'll see the Devo of old. He was really struggling before going on the DL.
Lost his luggage. He's got to go pick it up and get that strut back.
Full count to Kike Hernandez, who popped up his first time up. Blummer combo right there. Astros and Padres. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Brad Peacock picks up back-to-back strikeouts as he gets Hernandez with a slider, 2 away in the 5th. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price. Get every out-of-market regular season game plus a free subscription to At Bat Premium. And your cost is $59.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. Which did you partake in, the Dodger Dog or the $1 more for the Super Dodger Dog?
I went Super Dodger Dog.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's super about it?
It's all beef.
Ah.
Who knows what's in that Dodger Dog?
Well, you grew up on Dodger.
I didn't care when I was 11.
Right, I was just going to say, you grew up on Dodger Dogs.
Now that I'm trying to maintain a home run derby physique, I went to the Super Dog. But it was good. Eerily reminiscent of when I was sitting in those blue seats in the upper tank.
Want to know the count. Seats are basically the same color, faded out a little bit over the years.
Yeah, do you know the whole story behind the seats?
I do not.
So the blue seats up top, it's supposed to replicate what the ocean, the coastline looks like. The yellow seats, a little more like the sandy beaches, and then the ocean colored seats in the upper deck.
There you go.
But they cause absolutely the worst issues for day games. Like tomorrow is going to be awful for infielders. I had a terrible time here at Dodger Stadium seeing the ball off the bat during day games because those seats are so light. They almost brighten up in this beautiful sunlight of Los Angeles.
And we mentioned it's a late arriving crowd, so you see a few more seats in the first or second inning.
Yeah, there's no real, and they're sitting at, yeah, that's my seat up here.
Where?
It's just about right there.
That was your spot?
Yeah.
Dodger Dog.
If I was lucky, yeah. Dodger Dog was a worthwhile distraction from the vicinity to the field. But yeah, and the seats are ground level. So there's really not much of a background for a third baseman or first baseman.
It's a beautiful design here, but it can be discombobulating a little bit because you actually go down to get into the stadium. It's dug down into the ravine. a lot of fans exit by going.
Got to go up to get out.
Yeah.
Devon White got a base hit off my left shoe that I never knew was hit at me.
3-2 pitch called, third strike. How about Brad Peacock coming in the 5th inning, has to warm up in front of 50,000 plus and strikes out the side.
The annual Badges and Bases H-Town Rundown presented by Chenier. This family-friendly 5K and 10K benefits the Astros Foundation and the Houston Police Department. To register, visit astros.com/run.
Some beautiful vistas out here in Southern California. The sun is setting. Glad you could join us on AT&T Sportsnet, where this rematch of the 2017 World Series, Astros winning Game 1 last night 2-1, leading tonight 1-0. Brad Peacock taking over for Lance McCullers Jr., who left the game after 4 innings. We will get you an update here when we hear the latest from the clubhouse. The Astros will have the top of the order due up at the 6th. George Springer, Josh Reddick, and Alex Bregman. Maeda was on deck when that last inning ended, so when a pitcher bats to end the inning or is on deck, they give him a little more time to get ready. Maeda so far, other than the Marwin Gonzalez home run, has allowed just a couple of singles, and he has struck out 4.
It's time to get out and play. It is brought to you by Toyota. Jose Altuve against Kenta Maeda. Talked about that 1 run he did give up. That was a 2-run home run, but he came in relief, and Jose Altuve got him right by the gas pump in that Game 5. That seesaw battle, it will probably go down in history of the World Series as one of the greatest games ever. That blew the roof off Minute Maid Park with that swing, too.
A second big deficit coming back against Kershaw. Down 4-0 to tie it, down 7-4 to tie it. The only run Maeda would allow in his 4 appearances out of the bullpen, but it was a big one because Kershaw left after 2 outs, walking a couple of batters. And then the first batter Maeda faced, Jose Altuve, as Blummer said, blowing the roof off Minute Maid Park. Here's George Springer leading off the 6th. That game had so much drama. Over 5 hours and almost 20 minutes of baseball. But the game was so enthralling, it didn't seem like one of the longest games you've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never hugged so many Houstonians in my life than I did that night. It was elation, it was hugs, and then it was like, oh my gosh, hold on to me as we go through this game, because it was incredible how that went back and forth, neither team giving in.
Well, pop up behind first base, Hernandez is there, and Springer is retired. George now 0 for 3. Julia.
As Josh Reddick comes up here, he's our HEB No Player Does More. Josh Reddick enjoys playing at Dodger Stadium as the opponent, as he spent a little time here in 2016. Todd, you were mentioning this earlier, but he was also playing well coming into this series and was hoping to have a big series in front of the fans that like to boo him. Actually, yesterday, when they were announcing the lineups, it was a competition to who was going to receive the loudest boos. Josh Reddick was very proud with the noise that the Dodgers fans made when his name was announced. He even thinks he won. He tweeted back at me when I said this, that I think I win. He loves that stuff. But he did also talk about just how tough it is to be traded mid-season, and we've just watched a lot of players be traded around the league, and some for the very first time. And for him, I mean, to go from Oakland to LA, it was hard for him to adjust, and it took a while for him to get comfortable. So he definitely understands what guys are going through when they are traded midseason.
Chris Taylor on the move, and he watches it one hop over the wall. Josh Reddick with a double to start with 1 out in the 6th inning. So the Astros with their second extra base hit of the night. Reddick, an opposite field double, splits the gap.
So I'm going to break things down real quick. The 2 extra base hits in this game happened while Julia was speaking.
You want to do the inning, Julia?
Yeah, she can go ahead and take over, because Josh put a great swing on that fastball down and away. We haven't seen too many people do that against Kenta Maeda tonight. But the 2 times Julia was commenting,
I'm having a night.
yeah, the Astros have come through. So
Any more stories on
yeah,
Bregman?
keep it up. What do we got on Alex? Any more hair stories?
Well, Bregman is allowing Lance McCullers to use his bat
love it.
tonight. I mean, I could just come up with all kinds of stuff for you guys.
I know you've got all the info.
Right. What kind of insight I've got for you?
Here is Alex, who has popped up and grounded out. Well, if you ask the average Dodger fan, What was Josh Reddick's batting average in September of 2016 leading into the postseason? Most would say it was terrible. But he actually hit 400 for them in September. The problem was, after he got traded at the trade deadline, he hit 161 in the month of August. So on the first impression meter, Josh didn't make a big statement.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Right? Overall, he hit 259 with the Dodgers. It wasn't certainly a terrible number. A couple of home runs. But early on, when he was just moved from the A's, he was not contributing in that first month.
If you are getting booed in opposing ballparks, that is a good thing, because they know who you are.
Justin Verlander, I think, thrives on it as much as anybody. He got some loud boos last night when he was introduced and didn't tip his cap on the way out like he did in the Bronx against the Yankees, but I know he was thrilled to set the tone in this series. He said he threw that fastball where he wanted 90% of the time. He executed the pitch where he wanted with the heater 90% of the time in last night's start. Three and one the count to Bregman. Good count here for Julia to say something.
I think they just cut my mic.
Ball four. So the Astros with 2 runners on and 1 out. And Yuli Gurriel will stride to the plate. And last night, Blummer, Justin Verlander crossed over the 200 strikeout threshold with his 14 strikeout game, and he is in elite company.
Yeah, the rate he's going, he might have a couple more seasons of 200+ strikeouts, but this is a phenomenal group of strikeout pitchers. One more season, he catches up to Bob Gibson and Pedro Martinez. My goodness.
Verlander is having a year that is as good as any season he's had in his career. At age 35, he is matching numbers, or very similar numbers, to the year he won Cy Young and MVP. He and Garrett Cole bookending this series. Verlander starting it, Cole finishing it. I think Cole and Verlander have a nice, healthy little competition. It seems like when one starts, they pass the other in strikeouts. So they keep going back and forth. And now Garrett needs a big strikeout performance to jump back in front of JV.
I've seen him do it.
Hey, Garrett.
Yeah. How you doing? Had that big 16 strikeout game against the National League West team in the Arizona Diamondbacks on the road.
Yuli down on the count 0-2 with that foul ball. Yuli is lined out to center and struck out.
This is a guy right here that could use a line drive to the opposite field gap to get him going again.
I'd love to see that.
Astros have good numbers with runners in scoring position as a team on the season, hitting .280. Just third best in Major League Baseball. 1 for 6 last night. But that was another tough pitching matchup. We're seeing one here tonight.
Yuli on the ground, fair ball down the left field line. That will score Reddick. Bregman digging for third. He'll be waved around. Bregman will score. Gurriel a 2 RBI double, and the Astros lead 3-0.
What a great read by Bregman and Gary Pettis on that ball down the line off the bat of Yuli Gurriel, who comes through again with runners in scoring position. Wasn't to that opposite field gap, but still just as potent when you yank that thing down the third base line past Justin Turner. And the thing here at Dodger Stadium is Kemp's got to go to that corner and try and cut that ball off against the wall, but with the way the stadium is set up now, with the stands coming out closer to that foul line, it's much like Minute Maid Park, where it kicks off that padding on the left field side, and Kemp had to come sprinting in, and that's when Alex Bregman put his head down and Gary Pettis waved him home.
We saw Yasiel Puig play a ball similarly against Josh Reddick very well to limit Reddick to a single. That ball really bounded away from Kemp. The 2 RBIs for Yuli, and the Astros lead this game 3-0. Marwin Gonzalez will be intentionally walked. He's on base for the 3rd straight time after a home run and infield hit his last time up. 1st and 2nd with 1 out for Tyler White. Some shady scoring the 3rd run for the Astros. Here's Shark. Tyler White a couple of ground outs tonight.
You think Minute Maid Park Entertainment is getting prepared for Alex to come back home at the end of this road trip with that hairdo?
I'd like to see what his walk-up song is when we get back. There's not many people who enjoy playing the game of baseball in the history of the game more than that kid.
Yeah. What's great about Alex, too, is that he knew in doing that to his hair, he's going to take a beating in the clubhouse, and he doesn't care. That's what makes him enjoyable.
White on the ground, foul. It's 0-2. Yeah, he's still, despite all his accomplishments this year, he's still kind of the young guy, the new guy, if you will, on the team, with all these veterans around him. But younger veterans just have been here a little longer.
I love gold.
Nothing better than an Austin Powers reference in the middle of a 3-0 game. Here's Tyler White down on the count 0-2. Maeda misses the edge. It's 1-2. Bullpen action going for the Dodgers for the first time. The Astros had to go to their pen due to an injury, an apparent injury to Lance McCullers Jr. But now Dodgers have bullpen action up for the first time. JT Chargois warming up. Pickoff attempt at second, and Yuli diving back in. Yuli a 2 RBI double. That's now 56 runs batted in on the year for Gurriel. He just got passed recently by Joe Mauer for the best record or best average with runners in scoring position, but that'll help move him right back to the top. Center field, Taylor coming on, and he will make a diving attempt, and it's down for a base hit. Gurriel will be waved around. Headed to third is Marwin. The Astros lead 4-0 on the double by Tyler White.
Done it. Dre White stepping up. 1-2 count off the end of the bat. Drops it just in front of Chris Taylor out there in center field. La Piña's alive. This is beautifully done. Tyler White not giving in. Able to stay on that. Fight it off the end of the bat. Taylor did it the best he could. It's pretty good base running considering the situation too. Runners kind of drifting off the bases, kind of in no man's land. There you see Yuli drifting. Can't really go anywhere until he sees that ball down. And once it gets past Taylor, he scores easy. But it was a great job by Marwin going first to third with that play in front of him, and Tyler White was going head down to second base the whole time.
That'll do it for Kenta Maeda. He'll leave this game. The Astros lead at 4-0. and 3 runs this inning. Lead it 4-0. New battery for the Dodgers. Taking over behind the plate as part of a double switch, Yasmani Grandal. He'll bat in the 9th spot, which is due to lead off in the bottom half of this inning. And the new pitcher is JT Chargois.
Chargois last pitched on the first against Milwaukee. He went an inning, gave up a couple of hits, had a strikeout, throws hard, averaging 95.2 miles an hour on his fastball. Backs that up with a changeup and a slider. 31st appearance.
Best in the bullpen at first pitch strikes. See if Maldonado gets aggressive here with runners on second and third, and the infield in with 1 out. This will be quite a time for Maldonado to pick up his first hit as an Astro as he takes a called strike. 66.7% first pitch strike, so 2/3 of the pitches from Chargois find the strike zone on the first pitch.
Tough to ambush when you're sitting fastball and he breaks a slider over early.
There's that slider to right-hand hitters over 55% of the time. 44% fastballs. Nice stop by Grandal just into the game. He gets tested early. It's 1-1. Astros scoring 3 in this inning. And we have proven the Astros can't hit even when Julia's not doing an update on a report.
Whew. That was a lot of pressure.
There was a lot of heat on you after the double by Reddick. But Yuli coming through with that double down the line and scoring on the Tyler White double. Around the bunt is Maldonado. The pitcher fields it, and Maldonado has himself an RBI. The Astros score a run as Marwin crosses the plate. It is now 5-0. Like Chargois thought about backhanding that to the plate, but just decided to take the out.
I think initially he did, but he didn't get a good enough grip on it to make that play. But he also would have been flipping it right through Martin Maldonado, I feel like. His momentum took him into the baseline, left with the only option. This will be a great view of it. Coming across, that was a great bunt, but coming across and staring right into the chest of Martin Maldonado, the only choice is to tag him.
Now batting, number 41, Brad Peacock.
Tony Kemp gets intentionally walked, and Brad Peacock will get an at bat. Brad Peacock hasn't had a lot of chances to be a hitter in his career, but he hits here with first and third and 2 outs. Next pitch outside for a ball. Peacock has batted 16 times, including 4 times with the Nationals back in 2011.
He can't take the smile off his face.
There goes Kemp. Nobody will cover. Kemp takes second base. So if Peacock can come through with a base hit here, the Astros will score 2 runs. They're going to give Kemp a stolen base. That is his 8th on the year. Brad does have a couple of RBIs. He is 2 for 16. Picked up those 2 RBIs last year. In Arizona, scored 2 runs with a base hit on August 15th of last year. Hit a double.
What's his OPS?
Strong to quite strong.
Nice.
804.
Wow.
How about that? Does take a called strike there. And the Astros send 9 to the plate, end up scoring 3 and lead this game 5-0.
now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. It's a 1-0 game until the Astros were able to string together some hits, starting with Josh Reddick, who got things going with an extra base hit. And then the hits kept coming. Yuli Gurriel, with runners in scoring position, doing what he does. How about Tyler White coming up with a big hit today, helping out the bottom half of that order, being able to drive in Yuli, and then even Martin Maldonado taking advantage, being able to drive in another run. They put up 4 runs in that inning. The dugout erupting down here to get some offense going, put them up 5-0 over the Dodgers there in the 6th, guys.
All right, Julie, we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Brad Peacock in his 2nd full inning of work came on for Lance McCullers Jr. and struck out the side in the 5th. Yasmani Grandal, Chris Taylor, Manny Machado. Grandal batting in the 9th spot after coming in as part of a double switch last inning. Fans on Twitter commenting on this score, 5-0. Score of Game 7 after 2 innings. Here a 4-run 6th as the Astros sent 9 to the plate. Counts 1-1 on Grandal.
And the Astros are trying to make this their 2nd home. But the Astros all season long have been playing well on the road, picking up that 70th win yesterday. They did so with 38 road wins.
3 on the right side because Grandal. It's a lot of balls to the right side as a left-hand hitter. This time to go straight away center. Springer goes back and he'll have a play. George puts it away for out number 1. Well, as the season goes, there are ebbs and flows to every year. And after that first game in Seattle, the team had just lost their 5th in a row. They had been swept at home over the weekend by the Rangers, and Seattle was 3 games back at that point. And that was kind of an important stretch there for the Astros. No Altuve, no Correa. Springer had, left the game after he dove for a ball and was injured in center field, and the Astros end up not only getting a game in that series, but they won the last 2, and now the first one here at LA and leading 5-0. This could be a big spot in the season for the Astros.
No, absolutely. If they can come off this road trip with a winning road trip and then bring back guys like Correa who are swinging the bat well on his rehab assignment, and then Altuve coming back, he's obviously going to be a quick, nice addition with the numbers he puts up. But it's been a rough stretch for Seattle, falling 6.5 games back, and now Oakland is in 2nd place.
Oakland had just swept the Toronto Blue Jays over the weekend, and then Toronto goes up to Seattle and they win on Thursday. They won last night. Tonight, Toronto leading 2-0 in Seattle again.
Well, the Astros have Seattle when they get home, and then they go back out to Seattle. I mean, this could be demonstrative for Seattle if they're not able to pull it together, because they lost 2 games out of 3 to a not full strength Houston Astro team.
Into left field, Kemp comes on and makes the catch for out number 2. Since the All-Star break, it has been a huge difference in the W's versus the losses in those 12 games.
I think the bullpen has anything to do with that. Man, the batting average 100 points better when they are winning. It's just amazing, the discrepancy. It seems like if they don't feel they're going to go out and win the game, it's just pull the ripcord, mail it in, get to the next game. 3-run difference.
Here's Manny Machado. Machado has struck out and flied out to center field. Tonight, James Paxton on the mound for Seattle in that game that they're trailing 2-0. Fouled away. Peacock ahead 0-2. Brad Peacock striking out the side in the 5th, getting a couple of fly ball outs this inning. Swing and a miss. Maldonado's going to have to throw out Machado. The throw is in time. Just getting Machado by less than a stride. A lot of room behind home plate to go and get that baseball. Maldonado recovered quickly.
How did he do that? Dodgers are going to take a look at this one. That's why everybody's kind of held up on the field. But slider gets past Martin Maldonado. He puts his head down, runs back there, and unleashes a fury. But how about Tyler White being able to stay on the bag, reach basically behind Machado to make the catch, to even have an opportunity for this call?
No
what a
review.
Play.
The machete to the shark to finish off the inning.
Just a great play to finish off that inning.
You will save even more on the whole room, and delivery is fast and easy. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. 5-0 Astros as we head to the 7th inning. Astros will have the top of the order due up as they did in the 6th inning. George Springer will lead things off, facing a new pitcher. Springer will face Pedro Baez out of the bullpen.
Pedro's got a fastball, changeup, and a slider also, averaging 95.6 miles an hour on his fastball. 35th appearance this season, 41 strikeouts in 35 2/3 innings pitched. Doing a good job against lefties with that .216 opponent batting average.
He'll face a lefty second in this inning as Josh Reddick is due up after Springer. It'll be Springer, Reddick, Bregman. Astros put up 4 last inning and lead this game 5-0. George takes a strike. Springer looking for his first hit. He has struck out, flied out, and popped up. Baez back on the active roster for the Dodgers for just a little more than a week now. Had been DL'd for a month with biceps tendonitis. He's ahead of Springer 0-2. Last year at this time, both teams were in command of their respective Western divisions. A little different story this year for the Dodgers. They have really had to battle. We mentioned their record of 35-20 since the beginning of June just to get into a first place tie. The Last year they held a double-digit lead at this point as Colin McHugh warms up in the Astros bullpen. Astros at this point last year led by 15 games in the AL West. 2-2 pitch. Popped out of play. We showed you the division standings earlier with the Dodgers tied with Arizona. Things are really bunched up in the National League, but whoever does not have that lead right now in the NL West would not be one of the two wild cards. Very close. It could change on a week-to-week basis, but the Dodgers know they have final 2 months to try and make a push to get back to the postseason.
Dodger fans have quit.
Swing and a miss. Baez strikes out Springer. Gets him on the slider for the first out of the 7th inning. Join the Astros this Friday as they take on the Mariners. 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a George Springer replica rainbow jersey presented by Houston Methodist. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/promotions. Always fun on Friday nights. Mariners will be in town. Friday night fireworks. Big and bright Friday nights have drawn huge crowds here the last few seasons. Here's Josh Reddick. Reddick 2 for 3, doubled and started that 4-run rally last inning as he doubled into the left center field gap. Reddick pops one foul. Josh down to the count 0-1. There's the wild card picture right now. So Milwaukee leading the Braves. The Dodgers right in the mix, but if they lose tonight, they will fall a half game behind Atlanta. And then the Rockies 2.5 back.
Apparently my daughters are watching the game because with the announcement of the replica jersey of George Springer's, I've gotten a couple of requests. Can I pick a couple up?
They are quick on the text.
Yes.
Fly ball to right field. Puig puts it away for out number 2. The two shortstops, formerly third basemen, copying numbers between Machado and Breg.
Well, and this is, Manny Machado is an offensive force, and it kind of gives you an idea of the trajectory of Alex Bregman, you hope. This has really been kind of a breakout year for Alex, becoming an all-star, putting up big home run numbers, the RBIs, and the runs scored. But the WRC is weighted runs created, kind of an even number to see what these guys bring to the table. But how about the runs produced for Alex Bregman? 122 runs produced.
And that is?
RBIs and home runs added together. And then you take away the
RBIs and runs
RBIs and runs scored, take away the home run.
So the home run doesn't count for 2.
Yep.
Basically, is that?
Can't double dip.
Breg's still looking for his first hit with the new hairstyle in this series. 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 2 today. You would stick with your new style for at least a few weeks, right? Even if things didn't go well?
Yeah.
You can't
I gotta let it ride it out.
change,
Yeah.
You can't just change every few days.
No, because, that'll lead to issues later on in life.
With a count of 1-1. He did draw a walk his last time as part of that 4-run inning.
Now you got to stay with it, because if you get going good and then you start taking your helmet off early. That's I had a teammate in San Diego who's now doing the pre and post and some color commentary for the San Diego Padres, Mark Sweeney. And he was always a guy that if you did something good, scored a run, he would come out and take your helmet off and immediately scream, "Show your pelo," which in Spanish means hair.
1-2 pitch grounded towards third. Turner has it on a couple of hops and a wide throw, but Bregman tagged out to end the inning. Baez with a 1-2-3-7 Seventh inning stretch time here at Dodger Stadium with the Astros leading 5-0. It is time to send it to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the seventh inning stretch. Presented by Coca-Cola.
On Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW, we asked in terms of both versatility and performance, who was the Astros' most valuable pitcher of the 2017 playoffs? 52% voting for McCullers and Morton, 46% voting for Justin Verlander. Thanks again, TK.
Yeah, there were some good choices on that Stro poll for Astro fans. There were actually some people chiming in about Brad Peacock, and Brad Peacock did a heck of a job here tonight, going 2 innings with 4 strikeouts. He will give way to Colin McHugh out of that Astros bullpen. Colin McHugh last out there against Seattle on the 30th. He went an inning, didn't give up anything, threw 10 pitches in doing so, and in 37 games this season, 52 2/3 innings pitched, 68 strikeouts. Fastball, curveball, and slider have been incredibly good and efficient at getting the swing and miss.
Colin, the 2018 version of the 2017 Brad Peacock, who he is replacing. So a couple of innings out of Brad, and now we'll see how deep AJ is willing to go with Colin. It could be take it to the house, but we'll see how effective he is.
Does have the ability to do that.
Facing 3, 4, and 5, Justin Turner, Matt Kemp, and Brian Dozier. Still awaiting a report on Lance McCullers Jr.
Right elbow discomfort for Lance McCullers. Just came down the wire there, and that is not what you want to hear.
Nope.
Hopefully it is a legitimate discomfort and doesn't lead to much else.
So Brent Strom has seen 5 pitchers make the first 112 starts of the season. The Astros, the only team that have had the same 5 go throughout the entire year, all the way through the first few days of August. Strami and AJ will have to assess the situation here once they learn a little more about Lance. Certainly the guy on the mound would be a candidate to take that spot if in fact Lance is injured where he needs a DL stint. But a lot of off days are coming up too.
Yeah, this month of August has a couple more off days in it for the Astros. That will be beneficial for the other guys in the rotation. Hopefully nothing major for Lance McCullers. We'll have to wait and get further reports on that. But the initial right elbow discomfort is not a good one.
After this road trip where all 5 starters will go through the rotation and have a chance to hit in National League parks, it'll be an off day at home before the Seattle series. Then it'll be an off day after that 4-game series with Seattle. Then 2 games against Colorado and another off day. So depending on how things play out, there is some maneuverability with all those days off. 3-2 pitch misses inside. McHugh walks Justin Turner. First batter he faces in the 7th inning, Julia.
Going through the schedule for the Astros, it's interesting to look at Carlos Correa's rehab assignment and the schedule they have set up for him. He played tonight 7 innings at shortstop. He went 1 for 3, but hit a home run for the Corpus Christi Hooks at Dr. Pepper Ballpark there in Frisco. He'll DH tomorrow. Then there will be an off day for both him and the Hooks, and then he'll play in back-to-back games in Corpus Christi, and that's going to line up for that Thursday, which is the start of the homestand for the Houston Astros. You hope things line up for a return there if there are no setbacks.
All right, good update on Correa. 0-1 on Matt Kemp, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Justin Turner with a leadoff walk in the 7th inning. 3 leadoff runners via the walk in this game. Brian Dozier, Austin Barnes, and now Justin Turner. Kemp fouls one back. It's 0-2. Hopefully we'll see Correa back for that homestand. Jose Altuve getting in some work today too, but not any baseball activities. We'll get an update on Altuve as he tried to test that knee a little bit, see how he recovers tomorrow. Big strikeout there. Colin McHugh gets Matt Kemp for the first out of the 7th inning. Kemp now 1 for his last 33.
It's not fun to be slumping, and then you face a pitching staff like the Houston Astros, and you add to the misery with a good slider from Colin McHugh. Gets the swing and miss.
Here's Brian Dozier. He has walked and also struck out. He struck out on a changeup to end the 4th inning. That would be the last batter Lance McCullers Jr. would face tonight. Takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Astros 2-2 here at Dodger Stadium last year in the World Series. In the regular season, trying to win for the 5th consecutive game against LA. Swept the series against the Dodgers back at Minute Maid Park in 2015. Back and forth. Apparently AJ's Justin Turner said something to the effect of, "I just came off the DL with a groin strain. Do you think I'm going to be stealing a base here?"
Yeah, with that 1-foot lead.
AJ just wanted him to make sure he was watching him. 1-2 the count. AJ has a great relationship with a lot of these Dodgers. Julia mentioned earlier Kenta Maeda and AJ having lunch before he joined the Dodgers, and then AJ and Dave Roberts are very good friends. And AJ could be part of a trivia question too, depending on how long Manny Machado lasts in the National League. Who was the last manager to manage Manny Machado in the American League?
There you go.
Machado traded right after the All-Star game. He was AJ starting shortstop for the American League. Tony Sipp warming up. 2-2 the count. Foul ball out of play.
I was teammates with Dave Roberts with the San Diego Padres, one of the better guys in all of baseball. Tried his hand at media, working with the Boston Red Sox because he had that big stolen base in their history, coming back from a 3-0 deficit to beat the Yankees to get to the World Series, but he has really found a home here in Southern California with the Los Angeles Dodgers, doing a great job managing a team that is very potent.
Upstairs, it's 3-2.
But I think AJ has so many good relationships with some of these players because with his time with San Diego working in the front office, he went out and did a lot of scouting. He was on some trips, checking out some of these guys in the minor leagues for potential trades with the Padres. But it's a smart move. This is a tight fraternity, baseball is. You want to make sure that you're nice to the right people. And managers usually carry a little bit of weight in the game. And you never know in this day and age with trades and contracts who you might be playing for. So you got to be cognizant of the fact that you've got to be kind to everybody because you might end up playing for them one day.
A couple of walks in this inning by Colin McHugh. McHugh with a walk, a strikeout, and now a walk has put 2 runners on with 1 out, and he'll get a visit from Martin Maldonado in this 5-0 game.
And both walks were the right-handed hitters with breaking balls. 3-2 breaking balls, trying to catch him off guard, but unable to break it back over the plate. You can see Maldonado set up outside. That pitch staying inside, very similar to how he walked Justin Turner.
McHugh and Maldonado haven't worked together.
Trying to figure out which trigonometry equation they're going to go with to try and figure out what the signs are with a runner at second base.
Originally, Maldonado didn't go to that backup quarterback wrist, the sleeve with all the notes on his wrist. So he has a little card that he sticks in his back pocket and goes to when he wants to make sure he knows which pitcher in his repertoire. Here's Yasiel Puig. 2 on and 1 out.
Puig already grounded into a double play, but with the runners on, this crowd gaining a little bit of steam.
This is inside. It's 1-0. Mentioned the Dodgers have a potent bench tonight with all lefties on the bench. So Tony Sipp warming up just in case Cody Bellinger has grabbed a bat. He is in the on-deck circle.
It's probably the most interesting thing for a manager is not only is he managing the lineup that is written in, you've also got to manage against the potential pinch hitters that are on the bench. AJ getting ahead of the game a little bit by having Tony Sipp loose for when they announced Bellinger.
Rondal already in the game, but Bellinger, Muncy, and Peterson, all left-hand hitters to choose from for Dave Roberts.
And Muncy's in the dugout with a bat.
There's a line drive to left field. Kemp makes a jumping catch as he came in initially and then had the jump in the air to catch that ball for the second out.
I'm not gonna lie to you, my heart skipped a beat right there. Ball hit hard. Tony Kemp came in and then elevated to make the catch. Showing good springs out there.
Good hops by Kemp for the second out as Puig hit a line drive, but at the Astros left fielder. So had that ball gone over his head. Puig did not exactly get it down the line in a hurry. McHugh's going to leave the game. Cody Bellinger was announced as a pinch hitter, so McHugh will leave, and Tony Sipp will be the new pitcher for the Astros when we come back. Dodgers drew a couple of walks in this inning, and with 2 outs and 2 on, the new pitcher, Tony Sipp.
Tony Sipp on the season with 32 appearances. 2-0 record. He's only pitched in 27 1/3 innings pitched. Doing a good job against left-handed hitters, holding them to a 156 average. He pitched in the Seattle series on the 31st, went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, and had 2 strikeouts, throwing 11 pitches.
He will face the pinch hitter Cody Bellinger here. McHugh goes 2/3 of an inning, walked a couple. And in this 5-0 game, a rather large spot here for the Astros and Tony Sipp, Martin Maldonado getting a new card with Sipp's information on it. That boy had to run it out to him right before the AB, so he knows what fingers to show for Sipp.
That's crazy.
Part of the learning curve when you're a catcher and traded mid-season.
Yeah, but he's had back-to-back starts, catching Justin Verlander and Lance McCullers today, so getting to know the staff by being in there for the action.
If you can catch Justin Verlander, you can pretty much catch anybody, and it has nothing to do with his stuff. It has to do with Justin's always changing up the signs during the course of the game.
Yeah.
And we saw Maldonado get crossed up a couple of times last night, and he was still able to make the plays. 0-1 to count on Bellinger, pinch hitting for Kike Hernandez. One to count. Astros infielders need to be aware that Maldonado likes to back pick at second or at first. And whenever you get a runner straying a little bit, you need to cover that bag after the pitch is sent home. On the ground, diving, or no, nice stop by Bregman. Doesn't have to dive, and he gets Bellinger at first base. Alex Bregman moving nicely to his left. And the Astros will strand 2 runners here in this 5-0 game.
Alex Bregman was toying with Justin Turner at second base, and then immediately has to break to his left, reaches out on a great hop. Strong throw to get the hustling Cody Bellinger. Right, Brent Strom led USC to 2 national championships. 3rd overall pick by the Mets in 1970. Brent Strom on that list of USC alumni to accomplish big things as far as baseball is concerned.
Strami, tonight's name that Astro. We're going to see the Dodger debut of the new pitcher into the game. Veteran right-hander John Axford.
45 games with Toronto, now wearing the Dodger blue. Axford still throws pretty hard at 95.5 miles an hour. Curveball and cut fastball at 92.
He'll face Yuli Gurriel here to start the 8th inning. Astros leading 5-0. Yuli takes a called strike. Yuli had the big hit in that 4-run 6th, as he knocked in 2 with a double down the line and left, giving the Astros a 3-0 lead. He would also come around to score a run in that inning. Axford, the 4th pitcher for the Dodgers in this game. He was slated to make a start against Seattle on Thursday. When he found out the news right at the trade deadline, he was out to lunch with the Blue Jays taking on the Oakland A's that day, and thought he was in the clear, thought he had avoided being dealt, but he found out right at the trade deadline that he was going to LA with the Dodgers, so back in his familiar bullpen role. Instead, getting the start in that first game against Seattle was the former Astro Tyler Clippard. Clippard pitched 1 inning, gave up a couple of runs, as Yuli with a base hit into left field. Yuli 2 for 4 tonight, on base to lead off the 8th.
Second baseman number 9.
As we see from Yuli.
Cody Bellinger at first base now after pinch hitting for Kike Hernandez. Stays in the game to play first. He and Yuli, a couple of first basemen, discussing things over at the bag. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin's been on base 3 times. A home run, an infield single that was misplayed by the Dodgers, and an intentional walk. Marwin also came around to score on a bunt by Martin Maldonado. Scored the 5th run of this game. Well, Marwin 3 home runs in his last 3 games. A couple of home runs Wednesday against the Mariners. Hit one tonight in the 2nd inning on the first pitch he saw from Kenta Maeda. Counts 1-1. In that game that Axford was supposed to start, instead it was Tyler Clippard. He went 1 inning, and then it was another guy who was with the Astros this spring, Mike Hochschild, that came on and pitched 6 shutout innings out of the bullpen. They kind of pulled a Tampa Bay Rays where they had an opening pitcher and then went to the longer arm out of the pen.
There's going to be a couple of teams doing that after this trade deadline. Get rid of some of that starting pitching.
I don't think it's going to be just one team as we move forward. I think some other teams are going to tinker with that along the way.
I don't think it's a good plan to go out and win a division championship or even a wild card, but if you're trying to salvage the rest of the season and not burn through some guys or call up some minor league starters or that you don't want to start their clock, that's probably one of the more concerning things, is that they don't want to bring up a young talented phenom starter to start his clock. They want to maintain the control on those guys, so they'll suppress them and keep them in AAA or AA or wherever they have them.
Quite a night for Marwin. He draws another walk, intentional walk now, more conventional walk, and Marwin on base for the 4th time tonight. Here's Tyler White. White doubled in a run his last time up. The one thing about Tyler in that at bat, he didn't hit the ball that hard, but he put it in play.
Yep.
And he was down in the count 0-2 in a big spot in that game. Tyler's done a good job of just keeping at bats alive.
No, that's exactly right. Don't give in.
Called strike. It's 0-1. Tyler this year has walked 9 times and he has struck out 11. Bregman-like numbers. Alex has walked 63 times and struck out 61. 1-1 the count. A couple of ground outs in addition to that double tonight for White. Mentioned the Blue Jays were leading Seattle tonight at Safeco Field. They're in the 7th inning. James Paxton started that game for Seattle. He's allowed 3 runs. Paxton threw a no-hitter earlier this season against the Blue Jays, but tonight they got him for 8 hits and 3 runs through 6 2/3. But his opponent, Marco Estrada, is through 6 innings, trying to do what James Paxton did earlier this year to the Blue Jays. Estrada has not allowed a hit so far. 3-1 the count to Tyler White. This is not how John Axford imagined his Dodgers debut would go. A base hit, a walk, and now down to the count 3-1. Axford joined the team last night for the first time after the trade from Toronto. Blue Jays getting a minor league right-hander, Corey Copping, in that deal. On the ground, that is a foul ball. Turner with a nice pick on the short hop, but it's all for naught as everybody will head back to their respective bases.
Tell you what, the Astros have done a good job of taking these crowds out of these games. Justin Verlander yesterday. Today, the offense doing the job. It's not easy to do when you've got 53,000 plus in attendance.
I like the amount of orange I'm seeing at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, they're still hanging around too. We get a lot of comments from opposing teams on the road asking if this is how the Astros travel now, and we are saying yes. It's a nice last road trip before school starts too, so a lot of families taking advantage of the situation.
There's a walk. Bases are loaded. Axford with a base hit and a couple of walks allowed. And the Astros will load the bases for Martin Maldonado.
Check out the exciting events happening at Minute Maid Park this month. The August calendar includes Legends Weekend, a Springer throwback rainbow jersey giveaway, and Carlos Beltran 2004 playoff bobblehead giveaway. Visit astros.com/promotions for tickets and info.
I don't know if it's because of our angle, but my eye keeps going to that one section right above the out-of-town scoreboard in right field, and that's a lot of orange in one section.
Represent.
A whole row in the front and a whole row in the middle. Crunches and all, they're out here supporting their Astros.
A lot of these fans have been tweeting at me that are here at the game here in Dodger Stadium in LA. They're going to make the trip up north to San Francisco. My only question is, are they going to bring the Astro orange into San Francisco orange?
That's true.
There's going to be a ton of orange up in San Francisco.
It'll be tougher to distinguish Astros fans. That's a good point. Here's Martin Maldonado. He has an RBI tonight on a sacrifice bunt. He has 2 RBIs as an Astro, still looking for his first hit with Houston. He's 0 for 11 now. Martin overall trying to snap an 0 for streak as he sends one in the air to left field. Long run for Kemp, still coming. That's a fair ball. It bounds into the crowd for a double. Martin Maldonado with his first hit as an Astro. It's a 2 RBI double on a fly ball that landed fair, and it's now 7-0.
Congratulations, Martin Maldonado. We've seen a lot on the defensive side. Now he sneaks in a double for a couple more RBIs. That has got to feel good. Just a little bit of a drop shot down that foul line. Matt Kemp had a long way to go and unable to make it.
That snaps an 0 for 34 for Maldonado, going back to his days with the Angels.
I'll say the Astro record is 0 for 40. Brad Ausmus.
So good for Martin as he drives in 2 more. 3 RBI night for Maldonado, and Tony Kemp swings the first pitch. Kemp intentionally walked, stole a base his last time up. Also was grounded out a couple of times. That was a 1% hit probability to snap an 0 for 34.
That's all you need.
Just need 1%.
Yep.
The ball was in the air for a long time, but Dodger fans not thrilled that Kemp couldn't get there to make the catch. And the other Kemp, Tony didn't think that was a strike as he backed off the plate, but it was a called strike. It's 0-2. Martin Maldonado, with his first hit as an Astro, has now driven in 3 runs tonight and 4 in his Houston career.
Did you already mention that there's a bear sighting here at Dodger Stadium?
Nope.
I see El Oso Blanco on deck.
Ooh. A bear in the ravine. Gaddis will pinch hit for Tony Sipp. Tough spot here too for Dave Roberts. Axford struggling, still hasn't recorded an out, but he doesn't have any bullpen action going. Roberts would like to see the 35-year-old in his first Dodgers outing get through this inning if at all possible. Mentioned the Dodgers came in without the benefit of an off day, while the Astros had the off day on Thursday. Dodgers played 10 innings on Wednesday and then pounded the Brewers on Thursday 21-5 before this series. So they went from scoring the most runs in Dodger Stadium history for any team to losing 2-1 last night and down 7-0 tonight with the Astros pitching in 10.
Mitch Haniger just ended Estrada's no-hit bid. 1-out double in the 7th inning. Ouch.
Kemp is hit by an 0-2 pitch.
Man.
And out comes Jeremiah Randall to check on Tony. One of those situations too where it's 7-0. If Kemp is in any sort of pain, you've got the option with Jake Marisnick on the bench. Jake starting to walk around in the dugout.
You're up there battling at 2 strikes. Get that foot down early to try and make the adjustment. Hopefully it caught. He's coming out, huh?
Yep.
He's hoping it caught more of the bottom of the foot than anything else.
That won't feel great as Kemp will leave the game and Jake Marisnick takes over as a pinch runner. So the bases are loaded, still nobody out, and Evan Gaddis as a pinch hitter trying to add to the 7-0 lead. The Dodgers do finally get some bullpen action going. Evans sends one into center field. That'll send Taylor back. Plenty deep enough to score the run. Tagging up and scoring will be Tyler White. Sacrifice fly. Evan Gaddis sees 1 pitch tonight and ends up with an RBI.
Great AB.
Eddie, what you got for me?
Sac fly, RBI. We talked about how well Evan Gaddis has been doing since that All-Star break. A couple of home runs and now 4 RBIs. It's a successful evening.
That is as efficient as it gets. Sitting around in the hoodie all night, see one pitch and drive in a run.
Don't even have to run the bases. That is awesome.
Obviously, Evan would like to be in there a little more often in these National League games than they allow, but he'll take that ribby. George Springer bats now in an 8-0 game. Springer batting for the 5th time tonight. And it's 1-0. 8-0 Astros. This is a 1-0 game heading into the 6th.
And the hoodie. I think it was coming on.
That's standard operating procedure for Gaddis. He does not.
Told you.
And he knows he's coming out of the game. So it's not about keeping your core warm like he originally said. That was the reason he used to wear the hoodie, because Biggio told him if you're DH, got to stay warm during a game, but he's not DHing. He's done.
The inning's not over yet, Todd.
Oh, so he could get another EB.
You never know.
I see where you're going. I like the optimism.
However excessive.
You got to love Gaddis. What a personality he is.
One of the best. Of course, we say that about 15, 20 of these guys.
And the guy at the plate's not too shabby when it comes to oozing in personality. George has a 3-0 count. This is one of those points in the game where it's already 8-0. Normally you would see George swing at a potential 3-0 pitch, but probably not going to swing here with the score where it is. Now he will have the freedom to hack at 3-1. There is the lefty warming up for the Dodgers. Towards first, it hits the bag. Everything going the way for the Astros. Springer with an extra base hit. Maldonado scores. Jake to third. That ball hit the bag for a double for George. It's 9-0.
Unbelievable. They're going to give that one an error.
Ooh,
that's tough. Tough to play a hop off the base.
That's not an error. It hit the bag. That's got to be a hit.
Inside outed, but exactly that ball. If that ball doesn't hit the base, yes, he makes the play. But it hit the base and scooted right underneath the glove of Bellinger.
That better be
tough
changed.
error.
Now that's just like hitting the lip of an infield and taking a bad hop.
You don't have to yell at me, Todd.
I'm yelling at you.
Yeah, you are. You let me have it because I agree with you, actually.
Trying to help George out. All right, we'll have a break here. It's 9-0. We'll try and get that scoring changed as John Axford does not enjoy his debut as a Dodger. For George Springer, a ball that hit the bag. You see his reaction there. This was originally charged an error to Cody Bellinger. And they have now made the correct ruling as George saw that put up as an error and said, what?
Are you kidding me? Full deflation.
But hopefully he's looking at the board now. Yes, he just reacted. He just saw 0 errors on the board. And he just celebrated at second base.
Oh, man.
An error turns into an RBI double for Springer. That's the way it should be scored. Kudos to Ed Munson for changing that scoring decision. And George looked up at the board and said,
hey, thumbs up. Baseball gods are looking down on George with a smile.
Good stuff right there. 9-0 game. And the new pitcher just activated, called up from the minor league. Zach Roscup takes over. He was the transaction with last night's starter going on the DL, Alex Wood going on the DL, and Roscup activated today. He'll face the lefty Josh Reddick, who fouls one back. Josh has been on base a couple of times tonight, 2 for 4. His double got things rolling in the 6th inning when the Astros scored 4 runs. 9 runs on 9 hits for Houston tonight. And this crowd of seems like 50,000 plus has emptied out as Reddick goes deep to right field. That ball's gone. Astros with a dozen on the board. It is 12-0 Houston. Reddick's 12th of the year.
It has turned into a pummeling here at Dodger Stadium. Again, Josh Reddick, how about his left-on-left numbers? He put a left-on-left homer against Zach Duke in Seattle, putting the first home run on Zach Duke this season, and here he gets Roscup. Fill it to the brim with Roscup. Jeez.
The Astros with a 7-run 8th inning and still just 1 out. Here's Alex Bregman. So Yuli will bat twice in this inning for sure. We'll see how the rest of the inning plays out. And you might be right about Gaddis staying warm.
How about that?
Bregman looking for his first hit. Everybody else in the lineup, with the exception of the pitcher, has been on base either via hit or has been on base twice in the case of Tony Kemp. Kemp does not have a hit, but Bregman 0 for 3 with a walk. Alex. 2-1. Roscup doesn't like the new do.
Probably can't take his eyes off it. That is buzzing the tower right there. See how Alex responds.
I liked how that one website you were just on has the game at 14-0, as if they're seeing things before they happen. It is 12-0.
It's in full freakout mode right now. CBS Sports Line has it 15-0.
Ground ball to third. Long throw for Turner, and scooped by the new first baseman Max Muncy just off the bench, giving the Dodgers fans something to cheer about tonight, as Muncy makes a nice pick on the long throw.
Number 10, Yuli.
Back to Josh's home run. Hanging up out over the plate. Mattress Room Supermo shows you the contact point and the extension through. And now we've got some StatCast numbers for you. Projected distance 385, up towards that group of orange shirts. Just one section over.
You notice that section's emptied out with almost all the blue shirts.
Oh yeah.
The orange shirts have taken over. Orange shirts represented about 10% of that section initially, and now they represent about 50% of it, if not more. Yuli batting for the second time. He's had hits in his last 2 at-bats. At the time, Yuli's double was a big moment.
Yeah.
In the 6th inning, gave the Astros a 3-0 lead with a pitcher's duel going on for the first 5 innings, and Lance McCullers out of the game due to injury. And on the hands of Yuli, it's 2-1. Astros have sent the same number of men to the plate as Yuli's number in this inning. Into center field, on comes Taylor, and he'll play it on a hop. Yuli with 3 consecutive hits. Good to see Yuli break out with a big night of offense.
Number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
2 hits in this inning. Everybody who has not dyed their hair getting hits tonight.
Yet, with that hair, the Astros have scored 14 runs. 12 of them tonight.
I like that. Here's Marwin. He walked. He's been on base all 4 times tonight. And way inside. We've seen a lot of position players pitch this year, and the Dodgers have employed a couple of position players along the way on the mound. We'll see how Dave Roberts handles the next inning, as he knows he's got another game against the defending world champions tomorrow. May not want to add another inning to their bullpen. Round and foul, it's 1-1. TK Hernandez has pitched, but he's already been taken out of the game. Rosscott, normally a lefty who's only going to come in and face a lefty in his first 4 games he's appeared in with the Dodgers, has only totaled 1 inning in those 4 games. Seven-run inning for the Astros. Five hits, 2 walks in the inning, 1 hit batter, and the Dodgers finally finish off the top of the 8th. But a 7-run inning, and the Astros lead it by 12. takes over as the Astros' 5th pitcher of the night.
Joe going to try and close things out in this 12-0 game. 35 appearances this season, 4.08 ERA. Had some rough times early on, but here of late been very good, especially since July 5th.
Interesting changes for the Astros defensively, too, because normally when Jake Marisnick comes into the game, he goes to center. George goes from center to right, and Josh Reddick goes from right to left. But in a 12-0 game, you can kind of let the guys figure it out on their own, because Jake is going to play left here as George is not leaving his turf in center.
Said, I'm not moving. You take the longer jog.
I think AJ knows that's what happened.
And it's a little bit easier for the scorecard, too.
Marisnick pinch running for Kemp, who was hit on the foot with a pitch. And AJ keeping Jake in the game. And he's now left field. But Joe Smith will face Max Muncy, who came on in the middle of that inning as well. Muncy batting for the first time tonight, started in last night's game. Went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Justin Verlander. Lance McCullers started tonight, pitched 4 innings in his 22nd start of the year. Got to his career high in innings pitched by 1/3 of an inning, and then left the game with right elbow discomfort. Brad Peacock came on and retired all 6 batters he faced, so he should be in line for the win. Colin McHugh 2/3 of an inning, walked a couple of batters, but ended up not giving up a run because Tony Sipp came in and got Cody Bellinger to end the 7th. That seemed like a long time ago.
It really does.
Smith with a count of 1-2 on Max Muncy. Astros pitching led by Justin Verlander last night struck out 16 Dodgers. Verlander with 14 and Hector Rondon with 2. Tonight they have 10 Ks. McCullers had 5 in his 4 innings of work. Peacock 4 in his 2 perfect innings. And Colin McHugh added a strikeout to the total. Well, the good news for the fans that have stuck around is there won't be much post-game traffic tonight. This is never an easy stadium to get out of, with everything funneling into Chavez Ravine. Not a ton of exit points, but a lot of the Dodger fans have called it a night here on this Saturday with their team down 12-0 and only 2 hits to show for the offense. There's a called 3rd strike. Muncy goes down looking. Joe Smith has a strikeout of the first batter he faces.
Pitcher number 9, Yasmani Randolph.
That's a beautiful pitch by Joe Smith. Fastball in a 2-strike count. Locked up. Powerful Max Muncy.
Now he will face Yasmani Grandal, who came on in the 6th inning. Grandal flied out to center in his first at bat. Seen a report online, Blummer, according to The Athletic, Ken Rosenthal, that Mike Scioscia, longtime Angels manager in the final year of his 10-year contract, been with the Angels for 19 years, he's expected to step down at the end of the season.
And it had to be a tough call for Mike. So many years. 2002 World Series championship.
Longtime Dodger catcher.
No, he's pretty well established in this community, especially down here in Southern California. But he gave his heart and soul to that Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim franchise. Fell victim to a lot of injuries. He's had some good talent over the years, just couldn't keep a rotation intact.
Nothing has come down officially from the Angels. Both Mike Scioscia and GM Billy Epler declined to comment for the story in The Athletic. But apparently a long tenured manager in Mike Scioscia may be thinking about stepping away from the Angels after this season. Angels sitting in 4th place right now in the AL West. Since Scioscia started with the Angels back in 2000, the other 29 teams have employed 111 managers.
Puts things in perspective a little bit, huh?
If you include interim managers, it's 131.
My gosh.
During that stretch, the Marlins had 9 managers while Scioscia's been there.
How many owners? Sorry.
There should be a strike, and it is. Chris Taylor bats for the 4th time. You know, the other thing happening right now in the AL West in this 12-0 game, we can kind of stray a little bit here. Oakland won tonight 2-1 against Detroit.
They did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Seattle's losing right now 4-1. It's getting to the point now where a team that hasn't been to the playoffs since 2001 has got to be gripping a little bit if the Mariners don't win tonight. See Oakland right now 4.5 games back, but barring the greatest comeback in Dodger history, that will be 5 here. And if the next 5 outs with the Astros up 12-0. But yeah, if you're Seattle, you went from thinking,
well, the Houston-Seattle series to start this road trip, everything we heard out of Seattle was opportunity. A lot of these, you know, in order for your team to get into a division race, you've got to face a team at the right time. And a lot of people on paper said this is the right time to face the Houston Astros because Carlos Correa, Altuve are not in that lineup. That's a potent 1-2 punch in the middle part of the order that's not going to be there. And you had Paxton going, he pitched well, but then after that the wheels came off and the Astros got some timely hitting and great pitching. But yeah, there's got to be a little bit of concern, especially with some of the moves they made to go out there and bolster that team a little bit in order to make a strong push.
the Mariners thrived on 1-run and 2-run victories for the first 4 months of the season, and everybody said eventually they would have to regress back to the mean, and at least lately they have not been able to win ball games since that Paxton victory against the Astros on Monday night.
It's amazing how that happens.
1-2 pitch, Taylor stays alive.
The run differential has dipped before tonight's game to -18. So yeah, some of those numbers catching up with them a little bit.
Smith getting the 8th. I think we may see Cionel Perez in the 9th. You would think AJ might go to the young lefty in this big lead. There he is, warming up in the bullpen.
It'd be a lot of fun for that young man to step on the mound here at Dodger Stadium. Third oldest stadium in all of baseball. A lot of history and tradition here. Unique opportunity for the young man.
AJ will keep a watch on Smith's pitch count here, which is up to 18 in this inning and a 2-2 count. And the count's gone full. Joe's walked a batter. He has struck out a batter.
Stay gold, pony boy. That's priceless. Oh, JT sighting.
Oh, 99, old school JT.
Vintage.
Been quite a battle. I'm sure Joe Smith doesn't really love this battle in this situation. His highest pitch count on the year is 26 pitches back on the first outing of the year against the Rangers. He's also thrown 24, 22, but here he's at 21 pitches, still 1 out in the inning. would just like Chris Taylor to put a ball in play or strike out. He gets some. What a battle. Back and forth they went with foul balls, and Taylor looking out after striking out for the second out.
Epic. Oh, there's some hair. Becky's fiance met me on his 13th birthday, and man, it's a little more than frosted tips right there. It's always great when the roots come growing out. What the heck?
That's strong.
That is.
There's Eminem. With a real Slim Shady, please stand up. Alex is out of the game, but we can still have fun.
Hopefully he's watching.
That would be even better.
Stay strong, Alex.
Love you, AB.
Yep, appreciate the effort.
There's a ball in the right field, and the Dodgers could have their first run of the night, although Chris Woodward's going to hold up the runner here with Reddick's arm. No need for a potential collision. The bases are loaded. Excuse me, we're first and third now for the Dodgers after the base hit by Manny Machado. First hit of the series for Machado against the Astros.
I'm sending him.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes a shutout. I mean, unless you're an Astro fan, but I'm just saying on the Dodgers side, 2 outs, drop shot out there in right field, go ahead and force it. That's just me, though.
I hear you.
I think Machado probably wanted his 66th RBI.
Dodgers fans that had stuck around were hoping for a send from Chris Woodward. 0-1 the count to Turner. Smith up to 24 pitches. AJ would not like to see him get beyond 30, I would imagine.
The last time the Dodgers scored in this series was the leadoff home run of this series. (15 innings).
8 plus 7 plus this inning, yeah, 15 and change.
Oh man.
Actually, they didn't bat him. Yeah, they did. 8 innings worth last night plus 7 more this. 0-2 the count. Smith ahead of Turner. And Justin Fowler went back. Joe Smith going with the long sleeves on this pleasant evening in Southern California.
We talked about how warm it's going to be. There's another heat wave coming through Southern California on Monday. But the way this booth reacts to heat, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow.
We'll be casual tomorrow, so that'll help. Going golf shirts.
On camera. Maybe topless. It's going to be so hot in this thing.
Joe grew up in Ohio, so it's not like he's from a warm weather climate, but not this Saturday going long sleeves. He now lives in Newport Beach, California, so the blood may have thinned.
That happens to those SoCal people.
2-2 the count to Justin Turner. And into right field, coming on Reddick. He will get there. The shutout preserved for now. The Astros take a 12-0 lead to the ninth.
60 years ago, the Dodgers and Giants
and Methodist, best records versus teams that are playing 500 or better. Houston Astros in the middle of the pack there with that 564 winning percentage. The Red Sox have been doing a very good job in increasing that run differential against the New York Yankees. The Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers on that list also. Good teams beat good teams, but right now in this series against the Dodgers, it is definitely advantage Astros, and they're going to increase that run differential number.
Yeah, the Red Sox overall took the run differential title from the Astros at least for about a day and a half. But the Astros are going to wrestle that back in a big way tonight. Tomorrow we'll show you the best records versus teams 550 or better, so stay tuned for that as we head to the ninth. Tyler White facing Zach Rosscup. The Astros sending 11 batters to the plate in the 8th inning. That means Tyler White will bat for the 5th time. White had an RBI double in 3 at-bats, also walked, scored a run. You had a pretty surprising stat that you threw at me a little while ago with the Dodgers having won on Thursday night 21-5.
Yep.
You take it from there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to, because it was tweeted out by one of the beat writers for the Dodgers. And in the last 7 games, including that 21-run game, the Dodgers have a run differential of -2 with the 21-run game in there.
Wow.
Is that not incredible?
That is stunning. I'm not sure. We had to go back and look at it to believe it. That's incredible. 12-0 against doesn't help tonight, but still a plus 16 in the mix. Tyler White with a count of 2-2. 11 hits, 12 runs. Twitter is still with us tonight. I love the fans that are watching us.
They have been amazing.
We may have had our best Alex Bregman tweet of the night. There it is.
New album cover.
That's solid right there.
That's impressive.
Yuli moving from 3rd base to 2nd base in this game.
You put that on top of Alex's haircut, it will look like a pineapple.
Yeah, good call. Martin Maldonado hit a ball in the air that stayed in the air for a while, but Matt Kemp couldn't come down with it. It landed just fair for Maldonado's first hit as an Astro. It drove in a couple of runs, and it started a 7-run 8th inning. He also drove in a run on a sacrifice bunt back in the 6th inning. So Martin 1 for 3 tonight with 3 runs batted in. He spent his time most recently playing for Mike Scioscia. He'll be interested to hear that report we brought you at the top of the inning, or the bottom of the 8th, I should say. Maldonado back in Southern California for this series against the Dodgers. Spent the last 2 years with the Angels. And it's 3-1. Maldonado goes the other way, and he'll have back-to-back hits as an Astro and back-to-back doubles. A ground rule double to left and now a ground rule double to right. That's using the whole field.
It's just smart hitting.
Maldonado snapping an 0 for 34 with back-to-back doubles.
Good piece of hitting, too. Fastball away, go with it. Hopefully getting a little more comfortable in that Astro uniform, sneaking that hit down the line for a couple of RBIs. 2 hits, 3 RBIs on the evening for Martin Maldonado.
Here's Jake Marisnick. Jake batting for the first time, came on as a pinch runner for Tony Kemp and stayed in the game as a left fielder. I don't think Jake has played much left field in his career. Jake has that average up to 202, having a nice return from AAA Fresno. Jake, over his last 9 starts at the big league level, has 3 home runs, and over his last 14 starts, he's batting .333 with 4 home runs. Counts 2-1. Jake played left field 6 games last year. This is his first game in left field this season. George Springer changing the Cupid shuffle a little bit. Marisnik launches deep into left center field. Jake, a 2-run home run, and the Astros 14-0 lead. Wow, that was loud off the bat.
Another local guy putting up big numbers. Launching 8.5 miles an hour off the bat. And Jake from Rake Farm putting smiles on Astro fans' face. Oh my gosh. Can you hear that?
I hear it. I'm going to let it simmer into the broadcast here. A chant of "Let's go Astros" at Dodger Stadium.
That was loud.
Love it. You got a distance yet, or are they still calculating?
It's still calculating the distance. Estimated 425.
Nice. Here's J.D. Davis. He came on in the last inning defensively. He took over at third base. Alex Bregman was taken out of the game. Yuli shifted from third to second, and Marwin from second to short. Great to see Jake back and doing some damage. Jake hit a home run in his first game back in Seattle. J.D. in his lone at bat hits one off his foot. Zach Rosscup, final pitcher of the night for the Dodgers, trying to get through the ninth in a 14-0 game. Jake now with 4 home runs in his last 11 games. Part of that string was before he got sent down. This is his 4th stint with the Astros. And hopefully the last time we see Jake go up and down. He's seemingly got that swing back to where he wants it. JD with a count of 3-1. On the ground towards short. Machado. 2 outs in the ninth.
Jake with his khakis on the road, down and in, and he just uses that massive frame to create leverage and drive through that baseball. He's a Riverside Poly guy out here in Southern California. Probably watched a ton of Dodger baseball, and now he's getting a chance to do some damage. Didn't have the opportunity in the World Series last year. Making up for it right here with 109 miles an hour off the bat.
When George got hurt in the game on Tuesday, he left the game after 1 inning after diving for a ball in center field. The Astros would pick up 15 hits in that game after Springer had to leave with an injury, and then 15 hits the next day against Seattle when Springer sat out with that same injury. George playing in the game last night. The Astros were held to 4 hits, but tonight 14 runs on 13 hits. Springer has one of those hits.
I think my computer was right.
Yeah, it was. I saw that earlier. There's a line drive at Machado. George frustrated, but probably be so upset in a 14-0 game as you see him smile big on his way out of the batter's box. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Jake Marisnick capping a 14-run game for the Astros with that 2-run shot. It was a 1-0 game after 5, and the Astros exploding for 4 in the 6th, 7 more in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th. And lead this game 14-0 heading to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and Cionel Perez will come out and pitch the bottom of the 9th.
Young man Cionel Perez back on the mound for the Houston Astros. He has pitched in 4 games this season, thrown 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, walks are at 3, but he has held lefties to 0 for 6 against him.
He'll face Matt Kemp, Brian Dozier, Yasiel Puig, the 3 due to face the young lefty Cionel Perez. Astros leading 14-0. Lance McCullers Jr. 4 innings before he left due to right elbow discomfort. We'll get more on that in our post-game show after the game. Brad Peacock with 2 perfect innings should be the winning pitcher in this one. Colin McHugh 2/3, Tony Sipp a 3rd, and Joe Smith 1 inning of work, and now Cionel Perez. Roster move will have to be made tomorrow for the Astros. Perez was activated yesterday with Chris Davinsky going on the DL. And tomorrow the Astros will add Roberto Osuna to their roster, and more than likely Perez would be the candidate you would expect that will be headed out. Perez appearing in his 5th game with the Astros. 2-2 the count. Tomorrow, Garrett Cole will be on the mound for Houston. A couple of hard-throwing right-handers. Garrett Cole against Walker Buehler. In the center field, Springer is there. George puts it away for the first out of the bottom of the 9th.
Second baseman number 6, Brian Dozier.
I'll bring up Brian Dozier. Dozier, a couple of walks and a strikeout.
This game ends the way it is. That'll match the largest run differential in a win for the Houston Astros over the Dodgers in the history of the franchise.
Really?
August 26 of 2003, the Astros beat the Dodgers 18-4. Manager Dave Roberts was the leadoff man for the Dodgers in that game.
How about that? You were in that game.
I pinch hit.
Nice.
So I was a spectator for quite a while.
You hit from Mike Gallo?
I believe so. I have no idea what I did. But Dallas Perez started that game, went 4 2/3 and gave up 10 earned runs.
10 earnings.
That's a little harsh.
Tonight's starter for the Dodgers, Maeda, left with runners on base, but he would end up giving up all those runs in the 6th inning. Maeda had a stretch there where he retired 12 out of 13 batters going into the 6th, and the Astros posted a 4 spot on him in that inning. With the Red Sox winning 3 games against the Yankees, they have increased their run differential to +190. Took the lead last night and tonight over the Astros, but the Astros at +186. Jump back in front in a big way. Right now they're +200 on the season. We'll see how the bottom of the ninth plays out with Yasiel Puig stepping into the plate.
Some substantial runs being scored at this stadium on this homestand, huh? Dodgers with the 21-run game the other day against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now the Astros jumping in on the action, putting up 14.
Puig 0 for 3 tonight. This came back from the DL a week ago. 7 for 22 since coming off the disabled list. And Puig takes a strike. It's 0-2. He doesn't like the call, but it's 14-0 and anything close, you've got to think about taking a swing. Puig had a right oblique strain that kept him on the DL. Way upstairs. I think as at-bats go in the young career of Perez, this was a rather significant one as he gets Yasiel Puig to ground into a double play. The 22-year-old from Cuba, that's the 27-year-old from Cuba, to ground into a double play to end this one as Perez finishes off the 9th inning. The Astros' biggest win over the Dodgers in franchise history, matching another 14-run win that Blummer told you about in this inning. Tonight, a 14-0 shutout. All Astros should be a fun post-game show after this.